Well, a special treat for you guys. A special Friday edition of the pod. It's a little bit shorter than we normally do. Those who've enjoyed our vlog will know that Elaine is the woman who is sort of the queen of the Palisades and sort of walked us and drove us through all of the destruction. And so I sat down and did an interview with her. And by the way, if you want to see the vlog and you want to see what Elaine looks like in person, well, you just go to adamcarolla.com and check that vlog out. Enjoy. All right, Elaine Carolla is in studio. We went around, we toured the area, the fire zone. The vlog's available as we speak at adamcarolla.com. We spoke to the Army Corps engineers, Colonel Saucer, and we spoke to Glenn, the guy who was cleaning, doing the removal. And we wanted to get somebody who knew the area and knew the area well and has experience in that region. So why don't we just set the table by telling people who you are?
Oh, so hi, Adam.
Hi.
It's nice to see you again
Good
after our
to see you
drive
again.
around. And
Yes.
hi, Jason.
Hello.
So I'm a developer. You know, I've been building homes for about 30 years. Mm-hmm. And I do a lot of entitlement work, you know, getting things financed and getting things basically permitted. Mm-hmm. And 80% of my portfolio is in the Palisades. Mm-hmm. So this has been pretty amazing to be part of that on that level, you know.
How many of your structures made it? And did any not make it? Because we took a tour, you'll see in the vlog, of a beautiful home that you built, ground up, right? 14,000 square foot, lots going on, that literally had everything around it burnt. The fence in front melted. I mean, like craziness. I think you said out of 17 houses up that canyon, 2 made it.
That's right.
Yours was one of them.
Yeah.
And the other was a neighbor that then got destroyed by floodwater and mud, right?
Yeah, well, the 2 that I built both survived, you know.
Oh, right.
And I'd sold one of them. Yeah, but the third house, it did actually mostly survive the fires. It burned like 25%. But the flood took it out.
Right. The house we toured is up kind of on a bluff or a little bit of a high ground. So
that's a compacted soil. It's called a cut and fill. You know how you cut the hillside? Mm-hmm. And I did that. I raised the grade.
Yeah. So when you cut the hill, you put it back and you compacted it, and you took basically the grade level, the floor essentially, and brought it up.
That's right. Made a big driveway. That's called balancing the lot, which is pretty important because then you don't have to get a hauling route hearing, you know, through the city to pull the soil out.
Right. Because if you just cut into the side of the mountain, you got to haul that stuff somewhere.
That's right.
But you reused it and compacted it.
That's right.
Oh, I never even heard of this. Wow. What's the methodology?
It's balancing. It's like if you're going to take something down, you just put it up so that you don't have to take it all out. You take it down, you got this big pile, you compact it, and then just make a little road and just sit up on top of it.
Ever use a compactor?
No.
It's really... They just hose it and
Definitely,
compact
I'm
it.
going to go with low end of the job pool because if you're doing that, your brains are just getting scrambled every day. That's a hard construction job.
Oh, I've used...
Uh-oh. Is that what happened, huh?
That's what happened. I use a compactor in a hole.
Oh, my God.
Because, you know, what happened is we were digging footings in silver, like by hand. And the inspector said, you got to get down to bedrock. And we weren't getting to bedrock. It was digging and digging and digging. So my foreman said, that other hole we got 2 foot into bedrock or whatever. This hole we're supposed to hit bedrock. Says, take the bedrock that we pulled out of the other hole, throw it into this hole, and then Carolla, get the gas-powered compactor. I was inside the house.
I'm not sure that's
indoors
the same
and just
thing.
and wet it down, and the inspector will come in.
And we'll see the bedrock.
These things rely heavily on the inspector not wanting to crawl around. You know what I mean? Like he'll just put his head under the house, he'll see the conduit, and he'll check it off. He's not going to get under there, crawl around in the dirt or get in a hole because the guy's wearing, Dockers. So I've been there.
Yeah,
My sister.
can. It is the Department of Building and Safety.
And safety, yeah. Well, the house is still there. Dr. Fagenbaum's house. So you built these amazing, the house I went through was, 14,000 square foot. I mean, millions and millions of dollars rents out for tens of thousands of dollars a month. Like these amazing homes and structures. And so you know the area well, you know what you're up against. And I was hopeful after talking to the Army Corps of Engineers that we're going to have this place all cleaned out. But then I talked to you, and we got in a convertible, and we took a tour of the devastation, and it is not. And it's not going to be for a while, right?
So I guess that, wow, we spoke about this, and I'm sure hopefully you'll be able to, get that into your whole piece. But the Army Corps of Engineers is that, they are a military outfit, so they're readiness born. They're first in, and they get orders are given, and their orders were 90 days, I think, to do their opt-in, opt-out. And so if you didn't opt in, you're not on their list. And when they get to the end of their opt-ins, they got to go. I mean, they're not going to show up on your lot unless you opted in. And they had 4,800 opt-ins around the 31st of March, so they extended it 15 days. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many more they got, but let's just say they got another couple thousand. Mm-hmm. That's still like simple lots, phase one, flat. They're not all the hillside lots. They're not the multifamily, not the business lots, all of that. And, you have to really, also a lot is not a lot is not a lot. Some of them are little and some of them are big, but they're still counted as one.
Right.
And they also have a hauling route. Speaking of dirt, right? They have a hauling route hearing that was obtained through Karen Bass's waiver of, the dumping in the local landfills. And so they were allowed to drive this debris out to Calabasas, Silbar, and Silmar, yeah. And the other one was Azusa. Mm-hmm. I mean, the mayor of Azusa, very famously said, "I found out they were doing it on the news just like you did."
Mm. Yeah. So there's hazardous debris.
Correct.
And they're in the back of trucks.
Correct.
And they're trying to make it as safe as they can, but let's face it, it's hazardous debris in the back of a truck that's covered with visqueen, whatever, mill plastic, but it's out there. And they're going to drive it in and they're going to dump it in your city. Mm-hmm. is basically what they're saying.
Right. They're trying to solve a problem quickly, and I understand that, but you can't make another problem for someone else, and especially if it's later. And
instead of trucking it out, me and Carolla on the
compactor.
Just push it
Don't
down.
truck it out.
Wait, we should just landfill it ourselves then, and build on it.
So and the Kardashians don't want hazardous debris taken up the street and dumped in their landfill. Is that what's going on?
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
All right, I'll speak for the Kardashians.
I speak for Kimberly. Her mom. I know their families. They're actually. It marvels me, that whole thing. But in any case, they now have to, when the Army Corps leaves, all these private contractors have to get their own hauling route. Uh-huh. Okay, now there's 3 lawsuits that I know of. It's Silmar, Calabasas, and Azusa suing, Los Angeles County for this. So I don't think it was going to get a hauling route there. You know? And then so now where are all these wily contractors going to go when Army Corps leaves? And put their debris.
Right.
And there's so much debris left. Yes. Right. So
I was, like I said, I went and toured with the Army Corps of Engineers. I saw progress being made on a lot of these lots, but then there's the entire hill. And when you go up the hill, you just look down the hill and you go, oh, this is a completely different undertaking than being right next to PCH, next to the beach club on a flat miniature land. I mean, it is the difference between, miniature golf and 420 yards away. I mean, it's both called golf, but it's a different sport. We got a little, we can play a little clip of Andrew flying his drone all the way through some debris, but you can see there's so much burnt out devastation. It's a place I did at some point see a fastback Mustang 65 completely destroyed. That was it. Yeah. Oh, that house! I looked that house up. There's you got to look it up, Andrew. It was a really interesting architectural home that I loved. That I used to look at all the time as I drove past it every single day on my route home, and it was called the something house. Somebody built a really cool architectural piece up there. It's on Chautauqua, and it was built in 91, and I actually looked it up, but I can't remember. Well, you can see what the address is and figure
Wasn't
out.
Wasn't it 910 Chautauqua?
Yeah, Robert Bridges' house. Yeah, this guy had a dream. He built this cool home that hung off the side of a cliff in very modern style, burnt to the ground.
Dang.
I mean, the cement's in place, but it's all got to go because it's all compromised. So what is your head on this? First off, are we ever going to get this? Can Karen Bass do this, or do we have to just get like someone like Rick Caruso to? Who's going to be the czar? Like, who's going to spearhead this?
I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it.
Yeah, I want to do it.
You're going to be the czar.
Yeah.
The rebuild czar?
I want to do. I just want to take it over. I want everybody to just move out of my way.
And who's going to listen?
That's baby, you just hit the nail on the head. It's not about, like, there's plenty of able-bodied people out there, but the communication amongst people is tough. And that's really where the rubber hits the road with the Army Corps. So they work like an outfit, and so the communication is really good. Oh, and I have a man crush on the colonel.
Saucer?
Yeah, just because he's so organized. Like, that really gets me going.
Yeah, he's easy on the eyes, too, let's be honest.
Exactly, yeah, all of it. So he's in a situation where he's readiness trained, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. They have big meetings every day. And when he leaves and they leave, the organization of that goes with them.
Yeah.
And you've got this, private contractors that have got to get that stuff out of there because they're being paid whatever their fee is.
Yeah.
And by the way, we did pay I think we've paid out to the Army Corps of Engineers and FEMA and ECC and that whole group that's on the MATOC. That the insurance, as far
What's
as
the MATOC?
A MATOC. Okay, so all big government contracts with FEMA are on a MATOC. There's MATOCs and I think SATOCs. There's a few of them.
And what's that MATOC?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't even know what that is at all.
It's a mandatory award task outside contract is what it means. So FEMA comes in, they give you water and make you feel good, but they don't actually like dig. They hire a company.
Yeah.
That's ECC, right? ECC does kind of the banking and accounting. They hire the contractors.
So there's going to be no place to put all this stuff. And how do you begin the rebuilding process if you can't clear the lot?
Well, exactly. And how do you get in and out and on roads that have been completely annihilated by all these huge trucks?
And you're going to see, but we saw some lots going up for sale already, right?
Today I found out 114 are listed.
114 lots.
Yeah, 12 have sold or something, or 16 have sold.
What do you think those things are going for underneath market value, or what would have been market value 6 months ago?
So they're dropping.
Yeah.
And part of the problem is if you got a little house on a lot that's 7,500 square feet, and you got a big house on a lot that's 7,500 square feet.
And they're both burnt down.
And they're both burnt down.
Right.
The bigger house is going to be worth more because you're going to get a bigger house permit.
Right.
The little house permit, 9 months, right? So no value. Who wants to wait?
Right. Oh. Right.
And a lot of the bigger lots haven't come on yet. I think when the bigger lots come on, I mean, for me, like if I'm buying, which I'm always buying, but if I'm buying, I'm like looking for a big house lot with an empty house lot next door that's small so I can have more lots, have a bigger lot, and I can have some open space.
So you said there's 112 lots for sale?
Yeah, 112, 116 are on the market right now.
Wow.
I know. I had a nice meeting this morning on Rivas with the homeowners to try to figure out what we can do to get the street more organized. And one of the kids that came, shout out to Sam, he came and he kind of had done a lot of research on what's going on,
How do you see the whole thing reshaping? Like, are there going to be investors like buying blocks of lots, or is there, developers? I don't know how it will piece together.
I think a lot it depends on how we handle the rest of the cleanup, because if we can't get the debris out of there inside of a year, and we can't think about Altadena the same way we think about the Palisades, because Altadena doesn't have the resources that we have. Then it's gonna, if we can't do it inside of a year, people run out of money. I mean, they run out of and it's an emotional complete breakdown. There's just no initiative to really go. You're not inspired. You're uninspired. You can see that it's just total chaos in the bit. And if you have money, you think, oh, I'm just going to save the day. No, if you have a lot of money and you can afford to do it, you just want to lock the door and come back and just call me when it's over. It's a nightmare. And so I think it's important that we get the debris out.
Was there much discussion before of preventative measures, clearing the forest, things of that nature?
Well, obviously, Adam, Chubb left one of my houses 2 years ago, and Lloyd's of London like 2 years ago.
Chubb's the insurance company.
That's right. Now, the reason that they left...
Sounds like a fat friend of yours that got
that's
pissed.
what I thought.
Chubby left my house.
He's got hamburgers.
Well, you have to speak like people don't know the language.
Yeah. Explain like a
Right.
five.
Well, so there's Chubb left. Chubb is the insurance company, my primo insurance company, by the way. They left, and so did Lloyd's, because they had, requested from the state of California all the brush debris clearance so they could reduce their fire risk mitigation, blah, blah, blah. They obviously didn't get it.
Yeah, here's what I want to say to all the folks who run California and LA especially, but San Francisco. Don't get mad at the company that pulls out and leaves. They do all this all the time. They go, in Oakland, the CVS just left. These people need a place that, yeah, okay. Police your city.
Yeah.
Stop getting them robbed. Let them be able to turn a profit on their business, and then they'll stay. They're not leaving because they're mean. They're leaving because you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing, and it's not worth it for them. They want to do business in your company. It's like they do in California. They do the same thing. It's what Gavin Newsom does with the Chevron and Exxon all gouging. No, they're not. You don't know how to run your state, you imbecile. That's why gas is $5.50 a gallon. That's why the insurance companies are leaving. They're not leaving because they're cruel. They do business in every other state, and every other state the gas is $2.75. So what's going on in California where you don't create an environment that's hospitable for them to do their business, so they leave?
Well, no, we go with hostile, not hospitable.
Right, they're hostile.
We are making a hostile environment.
Right, and then you get angry at the company who leaves.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't get angry at the In-N-Out Burger who used to be in Oakland. Too many people got stabbed in the parking lot, so they left. That's on you, you idiots.
I think the progress on cleaning the bush and the brush and saving. What was that one? Didn't we have an endangered brush or something?
We had a milk thistle.
Yes.
So the
Some sawgrass.
milk thistle must be responsible for what has happened. I think the problem is that the whole idea of being environmentally conscious, kind of the train left the track. It's environmentally conscious until you put your actual citizens, at risk.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, and there's millions of things you can look at, whether it's oil and gas or it's the Coastal Commission, who's, I think there's 12 people on the Coastal Commission that control real estate from the top to the bottom of California. It's insane.
Yes.
And I've had the pleasure of a few of them, and even though they are perfectly nice people, it is just too much work, and there's too much to know, and it's just a big, you can't get anything
it's bloated.
through.
It's overregulated. And the question is are they going to expedite it? Are they going to speed it up? Are they going to cut some of the tape? Are they even capable of it?
Well, today, Rick Russo announced an AI platform for architectural plans and planning, which sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll help. It's about solutions. I mean, like I told you, I want to do these roundtables, and I'm serious about it. We sit down and we solve problems at a roundtable, and then we put it up and post it, and it says, if you have any ideas, please log on and tell us what they are so we can add them to the roundtable. If you'd like to join a roundtable, please put in and get in line, because there's so many ideas. I mean, look, I'm telling you, I'm doing this debris on rail thing. I'm very serious about it.
On rail.
Yeah, it's the only way. What are we talking about?
Well, tell it. You got to explain all
I
your
don't understand.
stuff. You act like
All right.
You're rushing right through it. I like your energy.
Problem solve. If you're not problem solving, just step out. Get over there.
Yeah.
Go over there. So we have a very robust railroad system in California. It's very robust. We have Union Pacific here, and we have multiple short lines. And if we don't utilize railroad for this debris removal, we're just complete idiots.
Right.
Really, honestly.
Yeah.
Is this your idea?
Well, I'm not the first person to put debris on rail, goodness no, but it was my idea to initiate this, yeah.
Right. So you're saying we're not going to take it to Calabasas, and that's going to be one big long legal argument. It's never going to happen.
It's insane. What are we doing? Why did we want to put it there?
We'll put it on a rail, and we'll take it to some desolate part of Nevada or something, or where?
Well, so there's a lot of different kinds of landfill, and some of them have these bladders that are designed to hold it, or at least they're away from people. And so that's where it needs to go. And what we're doing, putting it next to people, is that we're going to have to move it anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
And the lawsuits will eclipse the cost of going a little further.
Right.
Eclipse it. It will be 10 times more.
So you're saying put it on a truck, take it to, I think you were telling me in the vlog that we had a staging place that had acreage.
We have a lot of facilities that are actually owned by the state of California in one way or another, whether it's Sands District or it's, LA County, that are designed for, because, Sands District, we have LA Sanitation. They have 80 locations around the United States. They pick up around LA County. They pick up all our trash. And they do a very good job of it. We make a lot of trash. And unlike New York, it's not concentrated in one area. You got to go a lot of places. Do they ever miss your trash?
No, they wake me up at 7:15.
There you go.
I don't. Is there somewhere they show up at noon? I don't know.
Did you see the conspiracy that the blue trash cans don't burn? Did you catch all that?
Oh,
I thought that was weird. They don't. There's so many.
You're saying they don't melt. Like they don't. So you're saying the blue ones are the blue ones the recycling ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I say that is because in Malibu they have weird different colors that don't make sense.
I wonder, rainbow trash cans?
Yeah, they have the gay flag. No, they have.
Love that.
The blue ones were for something else, and the brown ones were for recycling or something. They were just idiots over there. When I used to live. And on Point Dume.
I do get mad at my trash cans too because there's just so many.
But they melt. Mine were melted when I got back to my house.
I randomly had all the blue ones.
So you say the blue ones? The conspiracy is that the blue ones don't burn.
Well, I would imagine they repel the heat better than a black one.
Well, they kept saying that the blue houses didn't burn in Hawaii, but the blue roofs. Yeah. And then I was like, wait, well, that's really weird because they really did. There was a lot of blue roofs but no other colors. And then they were like, and the trash cans that are blue don't burn too. So
they're saying the space lasers can't get to them.
I love that.
All right.
Oh my God, if only it was a space laser, at least we would know what to do.
So Rick Caruso's stuff, he's going to try to use AI to expedite plans.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Plan check and all that.
I listen to Adam complain about the regulations all the time, but it sounds like you have a lot of experience in dealing with that and working on the commissions. Like, can you talk about that a little bit?
I mean, I think that...
How do you get through,
Patient, yeah. You got to be patient, but you also have to be organized. I mean, everybody is looking at a specific scope of work, right? So if you haven't prepared something that needs to be prepared for them to look at it, then they're not going to go ask you for it, right? They're just going to send it back through the system.
But I imagine it's a lot of emails, and then your email's ignored, or they just put you off.
No, they don't. They don't answer at all.
Oh wow.
No. You have to prepare the set correctly.
Oh.
You submit the set, and then they send you back corrections. And if something's out of order or not missing, you won't even get corrections because it's not going to make it that far.
Okay, so an average house, how many meetings do you have with a person? I mean, many people.
You don't have that many meetings, but you have if you have design review board, which we have quite a few of.
Yeah.
Sorry, my phone's ringing. Isn't that terrible? I turned this thing off. I apologize. I kept it on because I wanted to look up stuff, but then I found out we have someone who looks up stuff.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
So let me just get that off. So what they're going to do with the fires, so rather than getting into what they don't do, is they're going to waive CEQA. And CEQA is this whole big process that will be good to be gone for a minute.
And CEQA is?
It's kind of the environmental portion of your planning. And then they're going to waive the coastal thing.
Coastal Commission.
Which is if you're in Palisades, that's very meaningful because almost everything's in coastal.
How far in land?
I think it's 3 miles.
They're still in coastal commission.
Right, and in a lot of the coastal commission areas, especially in Palisades, they have double commissions, the coastal. So they have double coastal. They have coastal in the water, watch it, and then they have the city coastal, watch it. So there's a lot of watching going on.
By the way, Lane is the one I spoke of who had the fire sprinklers inside of her shower stalls.
Oh yeah.
Well, you don't want to catch on fire when you're taking a shower. I mean, God, bless America. That would be bad luck. Plain old bad luck.
Wait till you build a house and wait till you figure out. You will hate the government so much.
It's so hard.
So much if you have to do something.
But a lot of states do have independent plan checkers that you can buy, and you can move the process fast.
Yeah, like an expediter.
Similar to an expediter, but the city actually allows you to plan check.
Other states and cities and stuff have thoughts about citizens and taxpayers, and they're not the enemy. They're the enemy here, is how they treat it. Now, so the question is do we got to get rid of Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom, I guess is the question.
Oh, gosh. Well, again, I want to run the whole thing. I don't want to. I want them all. I want everybody to just
regime change.
Regime change. Listen, Gavin has other plans. I mean, I just think we have to be realistic. He has other plans. He seems really busy, and he has his. He's got a podcast now.
He's building a
Yeah,
bullet
but
train.
he's trying to. His thing is like, I want to ruin the country. I'm done with. Done with California.
That's a big goal.
Yeah.
And he's got a big guy in his way now. So, but Karen, I think is a little bit different. I mean, I don't. I'm not sticking up for her. I don't want you to say I'm sticking up for her. But this is the thing. She was pretty late to this party. She just recently got elected.
Well, she was in Ghana. I mean, to be
and
fair.
that too. But the brush thing didn't start.
Yeah, she inherited that.
And the water thing has been going on forever. But leadership is what I have issue with her. I mean, you have to take leadership. When she couldn't speak inside of the jetway, I thought, well, where's her leadership? Just say, I'm sorry, I was gone, and I'm here now, and can you follow us and come with us? And I'm going to get caught up.
There's a tape of her sort of. Well, there's two tapes of her. There's one where she's walking through the jetway coming back from Ghana, and they're asking her basically. What's up with Ghana, and she won't talk. And then there's another one where they ask her twice and she gets pissed and snapped and went, no, I'm not sorry, I went, which is funny.
Whoa.
Oh, by the way, women are angry. You can get them to do about anything. You just got to push them a little bit and they'll snap at
Try
you.
me.
Not you. Democratic women, you poke them a little bit. I'm telling you, we got to get another woman to do it. It'll work. All the presidents of all the Ivy Leagues are up in front of Congress. They poked them a little bit, and they just
lose it.
And then they got fired. That's why they got fired, because they. Yeah.
That was a weird conspiracy too.
A dude will keep his shit together knowing this is being filmed and knowing that it will be held against him at a later point. Even if the biggest douche in the world kept poking at me, I would just sit there and be calm and explain. Then later on, get drunk and scream about the person. But they go nuts. She couldn't do it. I mean, she literally, like, someone went, well, what is the tape? She said. She asked if she was.
I remember the deer in headlights tape where she just went mute.
When she was just staring at the glass.
Yes.
Yeah, that was terrible.
They just get angry. They're passive aggressive.
If they recall her, I like Nicole. She's so great, Nicole Shanahan. I really love her. She's trying to. There she is. There's Karen.
Nicole's great.
She's great. She paid to recall her, and I want to support her in that. But on the other hand, if we recall her, then she's going to focus on the recall instead of focus on, helping us get these permits issued.
Yeah, just get it done.
So I just want to help her get that done. And maybe, if she works with me on this train thing and the permits, maybe she can, climb her way out of this.
This is her, by the way, she being asked on her way home from Ghana, I think. She just stares.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor?
Oh, boy. No talking. Just
Have
angry.
you nothing to say today?
The quizzical look upon her face.
Absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today.
I like the Scottish
Elon
guy.
Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position?
I love this guy.
Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster?
It's almost like
no apology for them.
We have this poor woman.
That's terrible.
Good.
I mean, that's upsetting, right?
Well,
Because
listen, look.
where's your leadership? I mean, you are in charge.
She's
For goodness
pissed.
sakes,
She's pissed.
lead your. She's in a position to. She is our mayor. It is her job to speak to that guy.
Oh, listen. Chicks get pissed. They ain't saying anything. Black chicks get super pissed. They ain't
She's
saying
a
anything.
bubbling cauldron of
says
rage
anything, she's
in that
gonna yell.
video.
Yeah, there's another. The good one is where she asked the guy after he felt bad, went to Ghana, and she just told him no because she got pissed because they poked.
I know.
They poked her. Yeah.
Well, if she could channel her energy into getting the right people around her.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to do anything, though. I've told you this. She's incompetent. She doesn't have a skill set. She's not going to be able to rebuild this. Rick Caruso could rebuild this because he has a skill set. She doesn't have a skill set. I don't think people in our society, we've forgotten that there's such a thing as expertise and there's like hierarchy. There's people that have experience. You have experience in building homes. I have experience in building homes. You understand what it takes. You speak the language. You understand there's an A, a B, and a C. You understand every facet of it. She wouldn't be able to rebuild LA any more than she could coach the New England Patriots. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She's never done it before. We decided that wouldn't it be cool to have Karen Bass be the head football coach of the New England Patriots. We go, she'd be the first black woman to ever be the head coach of the New England Patriots. That would be cool, except for she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She doesn't do anything. She's never done anything. She's a bureaucrat. So we think it's cool, but then the shit goes down and we have a bunch of people don't know what the fuck they're doing. And so that's what LA is. We hire we elect ceremonial people because we go, wouldn't it be nice to have that guy with Down syndrome running this whatever? And they go, yeah, it sounds cool, except for what if he has to do something? He doesn't know what he's doing. And this is an example. You know, you got a guy like Antonio Villarretardo, okay? I mean, his name is Antonio. His name is Tony Villar. His name is Tony Villar, but then he changed it to Antonio Villaraigosa.
What? Oh, I didn't know.
And then I changed it to Antonio Villarretardo because he's an incompetent idiot.
Wait, is it really not his last name?
Villarretardo?
No, Villaraigosa. It's not his last name?
No.
Fascinating.
His real name is
Tony Rigatoni.
Tony Rigatoni.
Why would he change it to something so difficult to say?
Because he's trying to get the Hispanic vote and dumb white liberal chicks to support him, like my mom. So they like the idea of Antonio Villaraigosa. His name was Tony Villar his whole life.
What?
Then he got to college, and at some point he became Antonio Villaraigosa. Now, he says he took his wife's maiden name.
I thought he did his
and
middle
hyphenated
name
it.
Street he grew
but
up
he
on.
also fucked around on her with a reporter from Telemundo. So maybe he's not such a fan of his wife.
Oh,
I
Lou
don't
Parker.
know.
He was with Lou Parker
He's
for
a
a long
fucking
time.
retard.
He had a good-looking girlfriend.
So Antonio Villaraigosa was the mayor of Los Angeles, but nothing really happened the whole time he was there. So he could just walk around being stupid and cutting ribbons and taking pictures, but he didn't have to do anything.
Are there any roads named Villaraigosa or airports or anything?
I don't know, but it would be bad.
Villaraigosa Boulevard?
No, unless he named them.
I believe it.
The whole point is you can make it through your stint as mayor if nothing goes wrong. But if something goes wrong, now we need a mayor, and she doesn't know what she's doing, and she's incompetent. So
Look,
that's the problem.
This is just my management opinion. This is just my management opinion. Every job, whether you're, Tudor Perini building, the 405 freeway, or you're building a bathroom, or you're running a city, your skill set is the thing that makes you good at what you know and what you know that you can do. But it does not make you good at everything.
Yeah, but she has zero skill set.
No, your job is to ask for help, and your job is to put people around you that make you good at everything.
Well, let me jump in.
Okay.
Part of the skill set is farming out stuff to subs.
That is a delegation.
Right.
Is a kingpin of good management.
You built that house with so many different subcontractors. That's part of the skill set that she does not possess. All right, we have the 11 seconds of her not being sorry.
Wait,
Looking back, would you have taken that trip overseas?
I am going to focus today
But please,
on what we know.
That's right.
Again, that bubbling cauldron of rage. You could see it in there, though, in her neck, in how she's look like she's
I
defending
haven't
a joke.
seen that.
That's a great clip. She's not sad. She's not sad.
She's
She went to
smug.
Ghana.
That's really strange.
Yeah, well, it's not strange. She's there. She's there for ceremonial purposes. So she went to Ghana to get in some ceremonial garb and do a dance.
Didn't Rick spend like $100,000 trying to run, or $100 million trying to run?
I think so.
He did.
The
He didn't
irony
win,
that the builder lost, and now we need to rebuild LA.
Yep.
What is the irony of golly?
I know.
Very ironic.
I know.
All right, Elaine. Should I give your website out?
No.
No. right.
Good God, no. Can they just call
Instagram,
you?
Twitter.
Instagram for sure. Lipstick Farmer.
Lipstick Farmer.
Oh my God!
Sweet
you guys
tag.
check. Yeah, come
All
on.
at ya.
I have a farm. I have a farm, and I have a bunch of dogs, and I'm really active, in the farm community because that's like my passion.
You
Truly.
do farms. You raise trees too, right?
I do have a lot of trees. No, I have actually big functioning farm. We do a lot. We do
man.
CSA and SNAP and have a farm stand and
What's CSA?
community supported agriculture.
Oh, see, we don't know all your
Yeah.
initials and your acronyms.
Well,
over here.
the 559 Farm Train is an initiative that I started in 2020 after Undercover Billionaire, and the whole idea is to put food on rail to take across the United States. Fresh farm food on rail. It's the cheapest way to move it. It's the only way to move it.
Oh, that's this history
Yeah,
with the rail.
That's right.
All right, so people should check you out on Instagram, Lipstick Farmer.
Check me out on Instagram on Lipstick Farmer. Elaine Collotti. That's Italian, but I married that one. I'm an Irish girl. So it would be really wonderful if you guys would check me out on Instagram.
And if you want to see Elaine, you can watch this vlog, which is very informative at adamcarolla.com as well. Thanks for tuning into the Adam Carolla Show. You can watch the full show on YouTube. Just search Adam Carolla Show and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also get the podcast wherever you like to listen. And for extra content, ad-free episodes, and more, you can head over to our Substack and sign up today.
What is the mystique about beating the other guy, about winning? Whatever it is, it's a mystique that's held in high reverence by people in racing.
March 22nd, join the Adam Carolla Show for a live podcast celebrating the legendary racing legacy of Paul Newman.
You can drive hard, and you're not going to win any races. The only way that you're ever going to win a race is just to be right on the edge of it all the time.
Come see Adam Carolla's collection of Paul Newman's championship-winning race cars, authentic race memorabilia, special guest interviews, and an audience Q&A.
If you see anything, kid, you let us know.
Sunday, March 22nd at 1 p.m. at the Jordan Family Event Center in Orange County.
If they put you on the spot, we got to fold the comp.
VIP packages are available with early access, meet and greet, and premium seating.
Take it easy, kid. We're not going to lose them now. We had them 10 years ago when you decided to be somebody.
The Adam Carolla Show celebrates the Paul Newman Race Car Collection.
Yeah, fine.
Sunday, March 22nd at the Jordan Family Event Center. Get your tickets now at adamcarolla.com.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. The choice, but to get it on, mandate, get it on. Jeff Dunham back in the studio. Good to see you, my friend.
Thanks for having me back. You know what's crazy, Adam, is I don't. You've always been kind of on fire, but in the last few months, you've gotten really on fire. What happened? I mean, like nuts. I mean, the clips come over my feed like way more now than they were a while ago. What happened?
Well, okay. I always yelled about tons of stuff all the time, but we didn't really capture it and push it out there. Mm-hmm. We just sort of talked about it for a long time. And now we have a team that actually captures the stuff and pushes it out there. So the thing I think, and maybe I'm incorrect, but people have a perception like, oh, now you're really talking. It's like, I always was talking. It's just getting captured, put with a thumbnail on it, and shoved out in a way that we never did it before.
Okay, I will take that and believe a percentage of it, but I think something in you snapped.
Well, snap
in a good way. In a good way.
Snapped is what happens to postal workers before they go on killing sprees. It's not when comedians have insights.
I don't know. I think you got more fed up with stuff, and got more of an edge. And so you can give your team the credit, but I think you're not giving yourself enough credit.
Well, I thank you. And I do. I mean, when people go, oh, you get older or you've changed, you know what I mean? Like weird. It is, you've changed is a weird put down, because if you go to Amazon, there's 10,000 books on how to change.
Right.
And then somebody insults you by going, you've changed.
Right.
It's like, yeah, maybe I read a book and changed. You know what I mean? It's sort of like when people used to insult you back in the 200 years ago. They go, "I said good day." It's like, all right, I'll have a good day.
What age do you look back on and go, never again, and I can't believe that?
Like, who was I? Or when I look that way? Or
I'm going somewhere with this, but what age do you go, okay, yeah, I don't ever want to be that person again?
Well, let's try to figure this out in terms of look back on. The first thing you have to study is hairstyle. That's the number one thing you need to look at.
That's not what I mean.
It's an aesthetic, but it'll get to the truth. We can get to the truth. No, what I'm saying is your change, like what you're trying. I never had a look, and I never had an attitude, and I never had a thing. I had periods in my life where I didn't know things.
Right.
But I never had oh my God, you joined that cult, in 82, or look at you with the hair and the stonewashed denims. I never had any of that. I was always me. I just sort of became more of me as the years wore on.
That's what I think it is. And I when you hear it, when I was younger and I heard older guys get older and they'd say, "Oh, these are the best years of my life," I'm like, you're just making an excuse and trying to make yourself feel better because you're an old fart now and you don't feel good and you hurt and you're saying these are the best years of my life. I think when you get to, you say a comedian really doesn't reach his stride, hasn't lived long enough until X amount of age, and then he can be interesting enough for the audience and have enough material. Well, I think you get to a certain point in your life, and I love where I am right now in my early 60s because I can look back and I feel like there's a pile of wisdom there. And those Star Trek episodes where the guys would always try, throughout history, the stories of guys trying to live forever and they don't want to give up all this wisdom and stuff they've accumulated all these years. That's what I feel like right now, because if somebody said, if you could go push a button and go back right now in your life, would you, and do it over? I'd go, no, this has been great because every mistake along the way has built character. Every stupid experience has built more character. Every success has been a pat on the back, but it didn't propel you forward. And so I look at what you're doing right now, and it's just like, I feel like you're in your perfect stride right now because you've had so much behind you that has built you the way you are, and the wisdom of years of saying the right things and sometimes the wrong thing.
A couple things. I had a conversation with someone this morning where the person said, "I hope this works out because if it doesn't, it's just been a waste of time." And I said, nothing's a waste of time. You learn stuff. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Good and the bad. I think we categorize, I didn't get the job, or I didn't get the gal, or I didn't get the whatever, and waste of time, and it's like, it's really, nothing's a waste of time if you're learning something, even if it's uncomfortable, or there's money expenditure that you never got back or whatever, but we can make some lemonade out of these lemons. So really nothing's a waste of time. If you really look at it, like if you want to be philosophical.
And do you have things in your life that you really wanted to accomplish or really wanted to do, and it never happened, and you look back and go, thank God? The tried example is the woman. Not that. Not like, oh my God, I wanted to marry her and thank God that didn't happen. Just career stuff where you go, if it had really gone the direction that I wanted to do, I wouldn't be where I am today. I
feel like I am always playing with house money career-wise. In
Really?
that, well, I had so many regular jobs for so long doing work that was, not boring. People like tell jobs are like they worked as a temp at an office and it was boring as hell, or they worked as a bartender or something, they hated it, or as a waiter, they hated it. But I had jobs where I crawled underneath people's houses, like with a flashlight in my mouth for so long that talking for a living and sharing ideas for a living, or making a documentary or writing a book or something, the idea that I can, even in a bizarre way, that I could make a living while sitting down is absolutely foreign to how I grew up. It was always, on your feet, how much stuff can you move in an hour. It was literally getting paid to move that from there, or put that up there, or put that drywall up, or move the plywood up to the roof, So sitting and talking and getting to talk to people like you, other comedians, actors, and things of that nature, way ahead of any, my dreams were of an hourly rate.
Right.
Like, could I get to $28 an hour? You know what I mean? If I could get to $30 an hour, that'd be the greatest. Now, there is one thing when you talk about regrets, and thank God I didn't. I think about this quite often. If you had presented me with a contract from the devil when I was 25 and it said, sign here, you're going to work in this warehouse for your entire life, but you will make $30 an hour and you'll get 3 days off for Christmas and medical and dental, I would have ripped that contract out of the devil's hands, grabbed it, and laughed and signed it and threw it right back at him and said, today's good. I'm on easy street. So I do think about what I would have done back in the day to do this. I would have signed anything and done anything for $25 an hour.
Here's my version of that. It's slightly different. So when I moved to LA in '88, I had $4,000 to my name and a Nissan Pathfinder.
Oh yeah,
and a bunch of dummies in the back. An '87 Pathfinder. I drove here from Texas in '88, and there have been 4 surprises along the way, and that I never ever dreamed this would happen. And one, now I got to remember what they all are. One was arenas.
Oh my God!
Because I wanted to come here and I wanted to do well in stand-up comedy, and I'd done a handful of comedy clubs. I'd come out to LA just a couple of times, done the Comedy Magic Club, and Mike Lacey. A little different there, Clay and Mike Lacey, had said, keep on coming out and we'll put you up and blah, 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 blah. So and to go, all I wanted to do was come here and be able to do what Jerry Seinfeld was doing, and that's 2,000-seat arenas, or 1,000-seat, a theater, to 1,000 or 2,000-seat theater. I thought that would be the epitome of all. So that was one surprise. The next surprise was doing international, doing arenas, and then they said a tour bus. And I'm like, a bus? I'm on airplanes. Why do I have to get on a bus? I didn't know what a tour bus was.
Right.
So that was another one. And then another one was international shows, doing shows outside the country. Who wants to do that?
Oh, I got to write this down. Rich man, poor man, traveling by a bus. Because you're either greyhounding it to Kansas City for $40 or you're on tour.
On a tour bus, right. That's what I thought. Greyhound was when they said you're going to get on a bus now.
Right.
And I'm like, what? How do I get on a plane? Why would I get on a freaking bus? I'd never seen a tour bus. And I think a lot of people out there don't understand that a tour bus is a good thing.
Yes. Well, all you need to know is the most successful acts do a tour bus. So it would have to be a good thing.
Right. And I don't know if this is good or bad, but Lewis Black leased a tour bus for a long time, and that ended up being the one that I bought.
Oh, really?
And one of the drawers still smells like Lewis Black. And in the bathroom, it's like his aftershave, and it won't go away. Every time I open that drawer, I go, oh my God, Lewis Black is on my bus.
Well, there is regret. I had regret this last weekend.
Yeah.
In a weird way, and I'll steer it back to you, pardon the pun, because I know you love cars, and I know we're also got a car show coming up, The Cars That Drove Us.
Yep.
And that's going to be in Discovery, March 31st.
Thank you.
I was watching the auctions last weekend at Amelia Island in Florida, and a Lamborghini Miura SV sold for $6.6 million.
I know where you're going with it.
I bought one for $2 million, and I sold it for like $2.2 to buy a house or something else. I had another Lamborghini Miura S.
Wait, hold on. Is the audience changing the channel right now? Because who says, I could have made $6 million. I paid $2 million.
I always looked at SVs and I'm like, those cars are undervalued.
Right.
They're the first supercar. They're the most beautiful car ever made.
Right.
And literally sold mine when I had to buy a house and get a 935 Porsche, but it was at the bottom of the market, pretty much. Another Miura, 69S orange, same one as I had. If anyone wants to see what a 69 Miura S looks like, the car that I put inside of my house was an orange 69S. Bought that car on a Saturday, went out to buy a blender. Came home with a Lamborghini Miura S. Like literally drove past, Vicente's auto, Italian autos in Van Nuys, poked my head in, saw this orange Miura. Guy said it was for sale. I was like, I got to get a blender, but I'll be back. I didn't have the money, figured out a way to get it. Anyway, it was $330,000, and one sold last weekend for $2.5. So regrets? Yeah, I have a few because I had 3 Miuras and I don't have any of them anymore.
Once again, that's not what I'm talking about.
I know. People think about, disciplining their son with a belt or something. But I think in terms of Miuras when I think in terms of regrets. But I do love the idea that we are in a business where you can actually be better in your 60s than you were in your 40s or even 30s, which sounds weird, and it's obviously the opposite of sports. And it's funny that you grow up dreaming of playing sports, but it's over at 33.
Isn't that crazy? There's guys that I look back at college. I went to Baylor, and guys that were like up and coming, these huge football players, and their careers were done when I was barely reaching any kind of stride. And It's been kind of satisfying.
It is. It's nice. And you brought up Seinfeld, which is funny because Seinfeld and I had this. And the Porsche and the 935 and whatever. So I was on an episode of They Might Be Drunk, which is Sam Morril and Mark Norman's show. Very funny stand-ups. And I was in New York, and I taped it several weeks ago. I didn't know when it was going to air, but they pre-tape them. And it evidently came out last week. And my episode, which, again, it's a month old, so not something I was really thinking about. And in it, we were recounting, making fun of the time Seinfeld and I I was at Rensport, the biggest Porsche gathering ever at Laguna Seca, and Seinfeld had his cars there, and I had my 935 Porsche there, and my 935 was like 200 feet from where me and Seinfeld were hanging out, looking at his cars, and I said, "Do you want to check out the 935? It's right over here." And he said, "Nah, I'm good." And
that's not nice.
It became a running joke, but I talked about it on We Might Be Drunk.
Right.
And they both know Seinfeld. And so we had a kind of a fun, spirited conversation about it, but it was like 15 minutes long.
Right.
And in the back of my mind, some comedians are really roll with it, guys, and some are a little prickly and weirdly prickly, like thinner skinned than the average guy who works at a gas station, which is kind of weird because you want to go, you're a comedian. Come on, get over it. You know, like this is what we do. We bust balls,
Right.
But I don't know Seinfeld, so I was kind of talking shit for like 15 minutes. And then as I left, I kind of walked out going, I wonder if he's going to, I wonder what his take on that's going to be, right? So I was driving into here a couple of days ago, and I'm just sitting in my car, and the phone rings.
Yep.
And it just says New York.
Right.
And there's no name. And I don't know how you are with answering the phone when there's no name attached to it.
I do not.
I normally do not. But if I see New York, I'm sort of intrigued.
Right.
And I'm like, New York?
Yeah, there's not a lot of scam calling from New York.
Right. And I'm writing an article. Someone's writing an article on me in some newspaper. Anyway, long story, but guy may have been in New York. I'm supposed to talk to him.
Right.
And I don't have his thing logged.
Right.
So I go, New York. And I start wrestling with myself. Like, is this somebody I owe money to? Is this going to be a scam? Is this going to be the Prince of Persia needs some money?
And you got 5 rings to figure it out.
You're right. I'm like on the 3rd ring, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Live a little. And I just hit it.
Right.
You know, and I go, hello? And the voice goes, Adam? I go, yeah. Jerry Seinfeld. I go, oh, hey, how you feeling? And he goes, oh, man, I was listening to the pod. So funny, so funny. That was great. That was great.
It?
Yeah, I go, oh, you thought it was funny. He goes, oh, yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
Well, it's because it was you, though.
He goes, I got to come out and do something with that car. Well, this will be funny, you know, whatever. We'll do something else. I'll come on the show. And I was like, I'll play the clip. Now, this is him with Spike, right? Right, on Spike's show. Sorry.
Yeah. I talked with Adam Carolla.
Oh, yeah.
Who wanted me to see his Paul Newman 935, but there was so many people around, and there was so much, interaction going on. It was kind of difficult for me to maneuver, and he kept pushing me. You've got to see my 935. I go, why? Why do I have to see it? What will happen in your mind that will be so great? Will it be me going, wow, cool car? And then what? Then nothing.
The big winter boot came down. So you said, I'll just say it now.
The winter boot of reality.
You'll say, I'll say it now.
Yeah.
Nice car. It's a nice car.
Yeah, great. You're great.
But it is weird, isn't it, kind of cool to meet another guy with a 935? Look, right over there, there's a 935.
I don't own that car anymore.
You don't?
No.
That car's been sold.
Sold.
That was the one out at Gooding, right?
That's right.
Well, we're going to get into...
All right. So they'd be like, okay, first off, there's like 25 935s on the planet.
Okay.
And there's 0 comedians who own a 935 except for me and Jerry Seinfeld.
Right.
But it'd be like, you've got Batmobiles. And it'd be like if you said, Adam, come check out my Batmobile. And I was like, yeah, I'm good, Jeff. And you're like, just walk across this path and look at my Batmobile. And then I go, yeah, we're fine. And then someone goes, Adam, don't you have a Batmobile? And I go, I sold it. That's my excuse is I sold it last week, so I can't look at your Batmobile.
Yeah, because he regrets it.
Anyway, so Seinfeld, that's a mirror, but yeah, Seinfeld thought it was funny.
Well,
And
funny
so
you bring that up.
He'll come on and we'll talk about it.
Seriously, it's like somebody had a microphone in my car talking to my manager today on my way over here, and I said, I wonder if I should talk about this. So, Adam, I'm trying to get rid of hate in my life. Mm-hmm. And the hate in my life is for Porsche. And it's Jerry Seinfeld's fault.
Whoa. Wow, this is all coming together.
Yeah, it is. So this goes back to the Comedy and Magic Club in, oh boy, it could have been 89, 90, somewhere in there.
Let me preface this quickly by explaining to the lay people, there are car collectors, but it doesn't mean we all collect the same cars.
That's correct.
He collects Porsches, many race cars. You do
Everything.
George Barris stuff, Batmobile stuff, like crazy stuff. I have old race cars, Newman race cars.
People, that's what but I have some really did you see what I drove today? The Blackwing Le Monster?
Yeah,
it's the Le Monster, but it's the Blackwing Le Monster. There was only 101 of them.
Supercharged?
Yeah, and
Nice.
it's like
Cadillac's got some kick-ass products.
oh, they got some great stuff.
But yeah, no, I'm not diminishing.
I
I'm
understand.
saying
But everybody has their own collections,
their own stuff. They
their own
have
stuff.
proclivities. It's
of
kind of
course.
like sex with people.
Yes, and I will not put a guy down for whatever. If he has something I don't like, I go, okay, that is fantastic. In your world, that is great. It's not something I would get, but good for you.
Fluffy does VW buses.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's great. And it's
Right.
like probably the greatest collection in the world of VW buses.
Right.
And you scratch your head and you go, that's what he's into. He loves it. He's passionate about it. Fantastic.
Yes. So you and Porsche.
So this was when I was barely out of college. I was not a car guy. I loved cars. I grew up loving Hot Wheels. That was about it. So But I had been doing car commercials in Texas before I moved, and it was a Nissan, Pontiac, and Datsun dealership. Pontiac and Datsun.
You doing voiceover? You doing acting?
No, doing doing the regional commercials. It's courtesy Pontiac and Datsun, Tyler, Texas, and it would be one of those. What's his name in his dog spot?
Cal Worthington.
Cal Worthington. Ralph Williams was another guy. In Dallas, it was Carl Westcott. All the same school kind of guy. Hey, how are y'all doing on this fine Thursday night? Blah, 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 blah. So they made it, sometimes they were live, sometimes they made it look live. In the later years, they made it look live. So Thursday night, hope you're enjoying the movie. Here's what we got on the lot tonight. And then they walk down the line and they got the numbers on the windshields, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I did in Texas for 2 dealerships. With the dummy.
Oh, with the dummy.
With the dummy, yeah. And
sure, so gotta have a hook.
But it was a Pontiac and Datsun dealership, and Datsun turned into Nissan in the early '80s, and so I always got to drive these cars as demos for free. So I put 6,000 miles on a 78, 79 Trans Am. Great. It'd been choked out that they were still fun. And I also got to drive Nissans. And so I eventually got a really good price on the turbo second generation 300ZX, which came out in 1990, I think. That was
V6
when they redid it. And even to this day, arguably that's a nice vehicle.
It's a cool piece.
Yeah.
It's a V6. It's a turbo, probably a twin turbo, I guess.
Yeah, it's twin turbo.
3 liter.
So that's what I had, and I thought it was a great car.
It is.
So
but not compared to Seinfeld.
but it was the lack of respect and the dismissal, because we were sitting in the green room of the Comedy Magic Club talking about
what year
cars.
is this?
It's got to be 80. No, it's got to be 90 because I just got it.
Right.
Yeah.
You got it new?
It came in late 89. Oh yeah, brand new. Yeah.
Turbo 300ZX.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, by the way, a ton of car for a young man. A point of pride.
Yeah, and I'd earned it all from doing puppet shows, for God's sakes. Right. So, and I thought it was great. I thought it was a great car. Performance numbers were pretty good.
Yeah.
It got respect in the reviews. I thought it was a great car. And he's talking about Porsches. I knew nothing about Porsches. I knew nothing about the rest of the world. And I go, oh yeah, well, my 300ZX. And he looked at me like I was an idiot. And compared to what he had, I probably was. But it was such a snooty conversation and such dismissal. And here I was, a guy doing a puppet show as the middle act of the Comedy Magic.
You felt the wrath of Seinfeld, the same one I felt, except for I was even 10 times worse because I had a Porsche 935.
Yeah. So ever since then, it's kind of like Leno's story about Ferrari. You know that one, right? Well, Leno was up and coming and doing great in the world in Hollywood, and he went in the Ferrari dealership, and I think he'd even guest hosted a couple of times for Carson, and he says, I might not be doing this story justice, but he walks in his typical jeans and
denim
shirt, walks in, and the guy basically said, there's nothing here you can afford.
Right.
And so I don't think he owns a Ferrari to this day. So it was such, and ever since.
It's a very good point. Jay Leno owns one of everything. He doesn't have a ton of Italian cars, but he does have 3 Lamborghinis, 2 Miuras, by the way, which he got for free. He got one of them for free from D. Martin's kid.
Wow.
Imagine you have a car for free. You got it for free, and then you just check the Amelia Island auction, and the exact same car went for 2.5 4 days ago. Okay, that's got to feel good. He has a Lamborghini Espada. It's like the 4-seater.
Right.
He does no Ferraris. He has it's conspicuously absent when you go to Jay's and you look at everything under the sun, Mercedes and everything. There is no Ferrari.
Right. That's the story.
Right.
And so ever since then, I have despised Porsches. And I'm trying to get past this because everybody else can't be wrong.
That's right.
And I look at it like, people are, you get online and people are racing, Teslas against the ZR1, the ZR1X, right? And it's like, and the Teslas are winning, and not the 1X, but the ZR1s, and the
Corvette. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so, and it's like, and I saw somebody say, this is like comparing a Casio watch to a Rolex. You got the Casio whatever Pro Trek, whatever
Right,
watch,
right.
and it does everything. It's satellite controlled. It never loses a quarter of a second. It's a fantastic watch, but it's a freaking disposable digital watch, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the Rolex, and so this is what finally got into my head. What a fine piece of engineering and machinery and decades of research and development. It's artwork in the automobile world. So I'm trying. I have a 914, and I like it because it's a Volkswagen. Because that was such an interesting marrying of businesses there. So I'm trying to find. I need your opinion. If somebody like me was going to find a decent Porsche and not go cuckoo crazy, and I've had opinions from other guys, what would you get if you were going to add one?
Okay, first things first.
And I'm going to tell you what my buddies said and see what you say.
Don't tell me first. I'll tell you first.
All right.
First, let me and your Nissan woes with Seinfeld when you came out here and thought you're on top of the world. I, too, had that situation. Not with Seinfeld, but I drove trucks my whole life.
Right.
Mini pickup trucks, Mazdas, Datsuns, Nissan later on. My 84 pickup truck was a Nissan, so they must have switched over to Nissan probably in 82 or 83 or somewhere
there.
So anyway, I drove trucks. And a Zuzu Trooper, like a four-banger,
That's
could barely
great.
get over the pass, whatever. At some point, I got into show business for like 10 minutes, and I thought to myself, I want a nice car.
Right.
No more trucks. And I want air conditioning. I never had air conditioning and things. And I went to like the Nissan dealer in like Glendale and saw a cherry, like 2-year-old Nissan Maxima with leather interior, six-cylinder automatic in air.
Right. What year was it?
That Nissan Maxima must have been 95 or something. It was a couple years old, and it was a fine car, but it was a Nissan, But for me, I got in that car. I put the air on. I put the stereo on.
CD.
CD player, electric seats, leather.
Right.
You know what I mean? Automatic.
And did it talk to you?
No, but I was top of the world.
Yep.
I was top of the world. And we did an event for Loveline or whatever it was on MTV, and it was at the Playboy Mansion.
Right.
And I came pulling up in my Nissan
Right.
Maxima, and I got out of the car. And one of the producers rushed over to me and goes, "What are you doing driving a Nissan Maxima?" I go, "What do you mean? It's the nicest car I've ever had." And he's like, "Oh, come on, man. You got to get a BMW or something. You can't be pulling up in a Nissan." And I'm like, "What do you mean? That's the nicest car. It's only 2 years old.
Right.
It's got 6 cylinders. It's got air conditioning." It's like, yeah, man, you're the star of a TV show. You can't. I was like, he Seinfelded me, right? In the Playboy
Right.
Mansion.
Oh.
He gave me some Nissan shame. You got Nissan, right? All right. I'm going to say for you.
Yeah. Wait, what does that mean?
It means you gave a thing where it's like you didn't want to spend $1 million on a Porsche.
What can you get for 200? Two and a quarter.
You can
$250,000.
Okay, there's some first early gen turbos that are in that realm, although they're going up kind of fast, like 76, 77, 78. You can get a 73S probably for that, or E or T maybe. I think the sweet spot for Porsche before they got a little big and water cooled and computerized and stuff, the sweet spot is 70 to 73. Those were drivers' cars, carbureted, air cooled, you can hear them. They made the Porsche sound.
Right.
They looked just like a Porsche, but they were kind of lean and mean. And I don't know. You can look it up. What would a 73 911S be? Even SCs are kind of nice looking cars. I'm staying away from the 928s and the 944s and the 968s. I'm staying with the 911
right.
architecture. But I'm going to go 72, 73, the 73S, 911S. And I'm not sure what they're trading for now, but we can figure it out.
All right. 73 911S. I'm going to write that down. As Adam.
Well, look at it. 73 Porsche 911S, generally between 150 and 220. So you told me that was right.
All right.
Right in your wheelhouse. You'll never go wrong. It'll only go up in value. It's not going to be an RS, but it's a nice driver's car.
So somebody like you would walk in. Somebody would walk in and go, somebody like you would walk in and look at my stuff and go, oh yeah, all right.
Oh yeah, the 73 911S.
Okay.
That's the car to get.
All right.
What's your buddy say?
Well, we were talking a little more contemporary, I guess, and he said any of the Caymans, like a 23 718 Cayman, the GT4.
Well, I mean that's we're getting
different animal.
We're getting from the Casio to the Rolex again, sort of in there. Like you can't work on it yourself, and I know you got to shop, and I know you like to gap some plugs every once in a while.
Sure. So that's completely different ballparks. I get it.
Yeah. But also you have an eye toward investment, and if you spend $175K on a car, you'd like it to be worth $250 in 10 years or whatever. That car will go up.
Or in 5 years, if I break even, I'm happy.
That car will go up. And you'll be fine.
Then I will seriously consider those. And look at that. That's great. Thank you for the advice. And again, I'm just trying to lose the hate in my life.
It's funny. We both have a hate Seinfeld car story. Well, do you love stories of myth and legend? Good. Listen up. Before Camelot and the Crown, the Pendragon cycle, Rise of the Merlin, tells the origin story. Watch a legend that shaped Britain in a 7-episode cinematic epic. This isn't a retelling of the King Arthur story. This is the rise of the world that made Arthur possible. The Pendragon Cycle, Rise of the Merlin, streaming now on Daily Wire Plus. Shot across multiple international locations and years in the making. This brings myth to life. It has amazing production value, full-scale battles, and a sweeping original orchestral score. At its core, this is a return to classic epic storytelling. A story where faith, prophecy, and sacrifice truly matter. Stream the Pendragon Cycle, Rise of the Merlin, now, only on Daily Wire Plus. O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts is in the business of keeping your car on the road. They offer friendly, helpful service and all the knowledge you need. If you can't figure out why your car's having an issue, and sometimes I can't figure it out, well, then my first call is always to O'Reilly. They have thousands of parts in stock and can test your battery for free. Need wiper blades? They'll help you out. Brake lights, quick fix. They'll get you the right part. Everyone who works there is knowledgeable and friendly. The professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto, well, they're your one-stop shop for DIY auto stuff. You can do it in-store. You can do it online. Either way, you always go with O'Reilly. Am I right, Dawson?
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
I mean, I had a Maxima. You had a twin-turbo Z car.
But you know what? The very first car I ever bought that the dummies paid for was a Nissan Maxima.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And it was the very first year of the Maxima, which I don't remember what that was. Would that have been
early 80s?
82?
Yeah, I was going to say like 82. Yeah, like early.
Yeah,
early
and I
80s.
know what it was.
81.
81? Yeah, because I had a girlfriend that I was engaged to in college. That's a big mistake to do that, by the way. Boys and girls, don't do that early. And I bought it because I'd been driving Zs, 280ZXs, doing those commercials, and I bought the Maxima because it was practical and a family car.
I had everything's just coming full circle, but I had a funny conversation with somebody who was interviewing me a couple days back, which is, and you'll get it. I'm kind of curious with people's recollections of things. You know what I mean? Very fascinated as in the past. Kind of makes you wonder what was true from 500 years ago or even 50 years ago, like people in their recollections. But a guy was interviewing me about my Paul Newman collection of cars, and he said, I said, well, most of them are Nissans. He said, my biggest regret is in high school I could have got this Nissan, but I couldn't quite afford it and never did get it. I said, well, which one was it? And he said, it was the 210 with the T-tops, gold. I said, 210? He goes, yeah. He goes, I'll never forget that car. I go, Nissan 210's a little shitbox, and they never made a T-top.
But it was a Datsun 210.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Datsun 210. I go, no, it was a 280ZX with T-tops, and that's the car you want. He goes, I'm pretty sure it's a 210, but I'll never forget that car. I go, a 210 is a little shitbox that didn't come in gold, and there was never T-tops.
Right.
For it to be like saying T-tops on a minivan or something. Like, no, it was, you're picturing a 280ZX gold, probably a 10th year anniversary edition.
Right, black and gold with T-tops. And he's like, yeah, I'll never forget that car. And I go, you did forget that car. You keep saying 210. 210 was a honeybee or whatever. Like a honeybee, that's
like a little miniature little shitbox.
Right.
And he goes, bye, this would make me an asshole. He goes, at some point he goes, you may be right. I go, I'm not maybe. And I don't say I may be right. I'm 100% right. It was not a Datsun 210 with T-tops. It's your dream car. Yeah. It was a Z car that you couldn't, but you misremembered it.
By the way, I have that car.
You have the
black and gold 280, yeah.
The 10th anniversary with the T-tops?
Absolutely. It's all leather interior, and it's great. It's not great because it's not great Porsche great. It's okay, I've said this to you before. Here's my collection. I love cars that start conversations. Where you walk in and somebody goes, "Oh my gosh, I could with my collection, I could be the star of most car shows, not because it's a great car, because it's a conversation starter."
Give us your top 5 in your collection that you cherish the most.
What that I cherish the most, or the ones that I think people just stop and stare?
Stop and stare.
Okay. Say. The craziest one, I don't know if you guys can look it up or not, but it's called I just got this one a few months ago. But, I used to take in the Keaton Batmobile. If I had to get rid of every other car, the Keaton Batmobile would be the one that I would keep because we put a lot into it, and it's just... to me, that's just an awesome, because these guys designed this thing in such a short time. So many. Oh, by the way, on my television show that's coming out March 31st on Discovery, that's one of the episodes is the Keaton Batmobile, and just the development of that thing. It's just such a beautiful and all sculpted. There was no computers involved. It was all hand sculpted.
All clay.
Yeah, it's all clay, and it's so it's asymmetrical. When you look at it, it's like nothing's even.
Right.
It's so great. All molds and fiberglass.
Right.
Fantastic. So that's one of them. That would be the one that people gathered around. That one and the '66 Batmobile. Those two, arguably, great. But the one that we just had,
the '66, a replica.
Yeah, it's a replica, but it's a really good replica. There are some that you go, that's not the right. But this one is actually from the molds of the original Futura.
All right.
So it's
George Bears.
Yep. Exactly. But this one, and I had to talk Leno into this on doing the episode. It's a Humvee that these guys took and rat rodded it out. And I'm not a rat rod guy, but they rat rodded it out and slammed it. And this thing is the craziest, biggest attention getter.
What year Humvee was it?
It was a Humvee, not a Hummer. So it was a military. It was an '87.
So it was an actual one.
Yeah, an actual military one that they rat rodded out. And it's, if you look it up, just go Jeff Dunham and Jay Leno Humvee, and it'll show up. And so, but again, back to the conversations. You can take, or the Ford GT, what is it, 19, where you had to beg and plead and please, can you please take my money, and here's my videotape, and here's my social media footprint.
For the 2016 one or 17 one?
Was it 19, 17, whatever it was?
Yeah, it's all blur now. But yes, the second gen
Yeah.
Or the third gen. depending on how you look at it.
Amazing car. Unbelievably great car.
Yeah.
So that's the Humbeast right there.
Wow.
That's me driving with Leno.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. And everything is custom done on that thing. And it draws a crowd no matter what race or gender or.
Yeah. Oh, you guys were out filming at Burbank.
Yeah.
With that. Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, because it's not street legal.
No. Why would it be?
And this is what Leno said. I thought it wasn't street legal mainly because of the width. And he goes, no, you're not going to get pulled over for the width. You're going to get pulled over for no fenders.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, but again, back to the conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a really good, I have a really great pacer.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, you take that to a car show, and it lights up people's faces, and everybody has a conversation that they grew up with somebody that had one down the street, or they had one. It was the family car, and it's just kind of fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think, when you talk about Leno's criteria for his collection is everything has to have a story. He just loves the story. The thing that's great about Leno is when you go into his garage, you'll walk right past the McLaren F1, the 93 or 94 that's worth $25 million.
Right. It's a center seat and then passengers on either side of the driver.
Yeah.
Right.
And, he paid $800 grand for it or whatever. It's $25 million.
And they told him it was crazy at the time when he did it, right?
You'll walk right past all of that stuff.
Yeah.
To this weird little three-wheel had a little like moped motor in it, and it was probably two-stroke. And he tells the story about the guy in the Midwest who him and his dad built this thing out of junked parts so he could drive it across the country.
Right.
And he loves that story. He loves, and it's the least valuable thing in his shop.
Sure.
But it's the most valuable to him because of the story behind it.
Sure.
And just, I don't know, maybe just after World War II, and this guy and his dad go to a junkyard and they start Frankensteining stuff together. And the next thing you know, the guy, it's like a little postal cart or whatever, and he drives it across the country. The son does when he's like 18. I mean, it's just, by the way, it also speaks of America where you could do stuff like that back then. We lived in a simpler time when a dad would let his son even attempt anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, now it's like, all right, son, no phone, no way, send me a postcard when you get to Oregon.
Right.
I
know. I have twin boys that are 10 years old, and even raising them right now compared to my daughters who are now, grown women, it is a different, terrifying time.
It bothers me that everyone is so safety oriented. I don't think it's a step toward the light. Like, I don't think it's a plus. I don't like it when people start saying, like, have a safe day, have a safe, like, that sounds so weird. Like, I kind of get back in the day when you're on the phone with someone and you're like going to the airport and you go, I gotta jump off because I'm going through security, and they go, okay, have a safe flight. Like, oh, okay, fine. But when you're at Starbucks and they hand you a bagel and they go, have a safe day. Like, what do you think, I'm going to choke on this bagel? Like, let's stop talking about safety so much. It prevents people from doing a lot of important things.
I got a quick story for you.
Yes.
So one of my sons is just from the age 7 begging for the VR headset, right? Begging for it. No, there's not enough research. It's dangerous for kids' minds and for their brains. We don't know about development. They haven't been long enough. No. Well, what age? Well, I've looked it up. You're probably not till 14. No, Dad, it's 10. It's not 10. It's just 10. And of course, he looks it up and he finds the survey the research that says 10-year-olds are fine if they do it short time. So his 10th birthday, he gets the VR headset, and I limit it to 20 minutes a day, right? So that's it. So he has me in this game. He wants me to play this game with him, so I got a VR headset too. It's called UGG. And UGG is basically you're in dinosaur times, and it's like SpongeBob's world, that kind of animation. And you're walking around cracking eggs and doing all this. He goes, let me show you how to do everything. So he and one of his friends gets on. It's me, and we're in this virtual world, and I'm just kind of walking around. And you have to give a code to the other guy to get in a private private server, so there's no other kids with you. And it's all little kids playing this game, right? So, and I've told them over and over again, do not give out personal information. They know. Do not tell what school you go to. Do not give out your real names. Don't tell anybody anything, and they know this. So I'm playing this game with them, not saying anything. And we're walking around, and all of a sudden we hear this kid go, "Can I play with you?" And I'm like, uh-oh, who's this? And again, I haven't said anything. And so my son and the other friend, they just keep playing. And a few minutes later, we hear the voice again. Can I play with you guys? I'm like, what is this? And the other friend, my son's friend goes, what's your name? And the kid goes, Bob. I'm like, And I'm staying completely quiet. And the other friend goes, yeah, you can play with this. I'm like, all right, he's going to let him play with this. So I'm here. So this is interesting. So my son and the other kid are playing around. And then my son says to me, he calls me by my name. He calls me not my real name, the fake name, Clive, is on the video game. He goes, Clive, do you understand everything so far? And I went, yeah, I pretty much got it. And there was dead silence. And finally, Bob goes, why is that kid's voice so low?
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then suddenly Bob was gone.
Wow.
And I don't know what it was, but it was creepy.
Do you, I was thinking about this. Your act is so much energy. And like, comedians kind of, sometimes if you're doing 2 shows a night, and I guess you're doing a lot of big arenas and stuff like that, so you don't really get the 2-show thing going.
No, we do, and my shows are 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like sometimes I'll go, for the second show, I'm just going to mix it up and do some different stuff or whatever, just so I don't get bored or whatever. But you doing both voices, 2.5 hours, physical, like on your feet. It seems like a lot if you ever get up that morning and just go, I'm not really feeling it
Well,
today.
of course, and when you've flown across the country and it's like gotten no sleep and all that, it's just, I've just done it for so long. And, I try and keep the shows at 2 hours because once you go over 2 hours, it's starting to be too long.
Right.
But I've done that math, and I think I've told you this before. Coming up in the comedy club world, it was always the number one deal back in the 80s and 90s was to get on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. That was it. Once you get on the Tonight Show and you've done well as a stand-up, your career is off and running, right?
Right.
So that was my goal when I moved out here in 88. What was my goal when I graduated from college in 1980? I gave myself 10 years to get on the Tonight Show with Carson. And
so you really set rules.
Oh yeah,
goals.
Yeah. That was it. And I didn't have any backup plan. I didn't have another job. That was it. That's all I've ever done. Just, started with book reports and then Cub Scout banquets and shows at church and Kiwanis clubs, and so I started doing corporate stuff long before I got into the comedy clubs. So when I graduated from high school, 10 years, and long story short, it was a long 10 years because Jim McCauley turned me down 8 times. You're not ready. You're not. Why am I not ready?
From the booker,
the guy who booked the Tonight Show. Yeah.
Would they go out and see you?
Yeah, you come out and see me at all the clubs. And the worst one was I moved out here in '88, in summer of '88. McCauley had already turned me down 3 times before that. But I moved out here, and in December of '88, he came and saw me at the Comedy Magic Club, and he said, "You're great. You're ready. Fantastic. Great. Let me book you." I was in the TV Guide. I bought the $2,000 suit, told the whole family, ready to go. He said, let me come see you the night before you tape and make sure, and if there's any little details that we want to change, we just got to make sure we get it right for Johnny. Great. So he came to the Comedy Magic Club. Roseanne Barr was in there getting ready for her next set. And,
for the Tonight Show.
For the Tonight Show, yep.
And he's like, is that your 300ZX?
You can't be on. So he comes in, and a little bit ways through my set, it's not going as well as it did before, but I'm doing my material. And I walked off stage, and Roseanne was backstage. I goes, where's Jim? And she goes, oh, he left. I'm like, he left? She goes, oh, don't worry. He loved it. Everything will be fine. Roseanne was as nice to me as she could have been to anybody. She was just a sweetheart. So I don't know who that other person is.
So you figured, well, he saw your act, and he didn't hang around to talk to you afterward.
I didn't have a good spidey sense about this. I'm like, why would he leave and not give me any notes? So I call him the next morning. And again, I was supposed to be on that night. It was December of '88. And he gets on the phone and he goes, Jeff, I'm really sorry. I made a mistake. You're not ready.
Really?
I said, really? And he goes, let me tell you one thing about being on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. It's better to be 5 years late than 1 day early. Let's get this right. And I said, so I still have a shot? He goes, of course you still have a shot. Just work on it. And so I worked on it for the next couple of years. And then finally in April of 1990, 2 months before my 10-year goal, I finally got on. It was a Friday night, Bob Hope, B.B. King, me, Johnny Carson. And it was that was one of those nights.
B.B. King,
yep.
Bob Hope.
And me.
That's so...
on a Friday night.
See, a lot of stuff in life is sort of luck of the draw because you can be on with, whoever's the hot starlet from 90210 and it's fine. But when you're telling your kids 30 years from now, they don't really care who that person is or know who that person is, know? The first time I did Letterman, James Brown was
That's
on.
great.
And which is fine because I think the second time I did Letterman, it was like Daphne Zuniga or something was the lead guest or something, which isn't great because if I say to my kid, hey, guess what? That you know Daphne Zuniga, right?
Yep.
Like they don't know, they don't care. But at the time, they're just booking whoever's hot, you know?
Right.
But so...
Well, let me tell you this one.
Tell me this.
Let me remind you this.
So it's right under the 10-year mark, which I had too, not with that, but with show business. And how was it?
Oh, I look back at the tape now and I kind of cringe.
Sure.
But in that moment in time, it was great. It was great. Couldn't have gone any better. Yeah, for that bit that I was doing.
And are you great? You waited? Are you glad you waited?
Oh, it was I use that saying for everything now. It's better to be 5 years late than 1 day early.
Right.
There's so much wisdom in that.
Yes, I agree.
And so yeah, it could not have gone any better. And I again, but I ended up being on 5 times, and it was great. But one of the times, so do you remember when Carson's son died? He was a photographer, and he accidentally drove off a cliff and died.
I don't remember that story.
Yeah. So Carson's son died, and they canceled 2 weeks of shows. So he was
off the air.
Was that? That would have been, I'm guessing, 91-ish.
Look that up. I'm curious.
So Jim McCauley, 2 weeks later.
Booker.
Yeah, the booker. He calls me, he says, I need you to do Johnny a favor. I'm like, what's that? He goes, he's going to do a photographic tribute to his son of some of the pictures that he's taken. But if Johnny doesn't feel it and bails on doing that, I need you to be stand-up that night. I'm like, 2 weeks of Johnny off the air. This is the first night he's back. So McCauley's asking me to come in and do my set after his son has died. Carson's son has died for that audience after Carson's come out and done basically a soliloquy to his son, right?
June 91.
There you go. So I'm in the makeup chair praying to the Almighty, dear God, that Carson doesn't bail on that.
Yeah.
That
I get
slideshow.
I get it.
And Macaulay comes in. I'm halfway through makeup, and he goes, "I got some good news." I go, "What?" He goes, "Carson's going to do the thing. You don't have to do your set." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And I ripped off the bib and was out of there.
Yeah. I remember probably. Maybe it was doing Letterman, but they used to bump people all the time.
Oh, sure.
Jimmy got bumped the first. I swear, this is a memory I got to check with Jimmy, but Jimmy, the first time he did Letterman, he had this whole bit where he had a Letterman. Jimmy was a huge Letterman fan growing up and literally had like a vanity plate on his Isuzu Trooper that said like Late Show on it or something. He had like a Letterman cake for his like 16th birthday. Had the bomber jacket and everything, the Letterman jacket. And the first time he was supposed to do Letterman, he was, thrilled, nervous, was crazy. And he had a bit where he got a giant Letterman tattoo, like on his back. And I think the bit was like he was going to go out there and he was going to go, Dave, I'm such a fan. It was so far back and all that kind of stuff. And you don't even know. And he was going to take his shirt off and go, And I think he'd had a professional artist like henna tattoo or something, a giant Letterman on either his chest or his back. And they did it, 2 hours worth of that. And then sitting in the dressing room. and last second gets bumped.
No.
And now he just flies out to New York.
Right.
It's the culmination of all his dreams come true. He's going to be on his Idols TV show. He did the whole tattoo business, sitting there in that dressing room.
We're sorry.
And he gets bumped. And that's just the way they do it. They'd fly out first class and, and they would bump you. And I remember, I think the first time I did Letterman, I have a bad attitude about certain things. Or no, I have a F student kind of mentality about stuff, and it's like I was just sitting in the dressing room and I was like, I wouldn't say I was a bundle of nerves, but I watched Letterman. It was surreal that I would go on and sit next to David Letterman. It's surreal.
Right.
And I was just saying, it was before Jimmy did it, so it was like crazy. I was like, you're the first person that anyone knows who's done Letterman.
Right.
And I was like sitting in the green room or my dressing room, and like the manager or something like opened the door, and he just went like, Adam, I got some news. And I was like, oh, yes, I've been bumped. Like at that point, I was like a prize fighter, and I just wanted to hear the other guy roll his ankle climbing into the ring or something. Like I wanted to do it. I wanted to kick ass. I felt I could win the fight.
Sure.
But all I wanted to hear at that point is that guy hurt himself. We can't fight canceled. Like I was like, please. And he was like, whatever it wasn't any of that. It was like, come on. And then the thing that's crazy, oh, you have a picture of Jimmy with David Letterman's face on his belly?
Wow, that's horrible. That's horrible for so many reasons.
That's horrible. All right.
Wow.
Now, I got to check with Jimmy because this is probably when he went back. I think he did it again because I think he got bumped the first time.
This was November 1999.
I got to send Jimmy a text. Right?
That's terrible.
It's terrible. But the thing that was always funny, and I always thought they shouldn't do it. Clock, please, Andrew. The thing I always thought was weird is Biff Henderson was the stage manager.
Right.
And he was on camera all the time. He was like a big part of the show.
Yeah.
But he was also the stage manager.
Right.
And so the first time I did Letterman, I was just standing backstage waiting. They do that. We'll pull the curtain. You come out, go to Dave's right, step over the thing, watch your foot, watch your step, watch your riser, go and say hi to Dave, then sit down.
Yep.
But it's Biff Henderson standing there, and he's like, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, he's like, you got to go. I'm going, you're Biff Henderson. He's like, yeah, but you got to go out on stage. And I'm like, well, can I get an autograph? It's like, it was wildly distracting because he was a star who was pulling the curtain for me, but I don't know what it was like. All it did was completely suck me out of this moment. I was just looking at Biff the whole time.
So those moments that you cannot relive, cannot explain to people, but I remember to this day standing at that curtain, hearing Doc Severinsen play the band, and hearing Johnny Carson introduce me, muffled because I'm behind the curtain. That moment is just like it's a life changer. And
I will say this to people: you should try to collect as many of those moments as you can.
Yep.
And they're not always the Tonight Show.
Yep.
There's different versions of that.
Yep.
But there is a version of pulling that curtain where you're just standing there for that moment in time, and you're just like, when I did Dancing with the Stars, they're like, now dancing.
You're crazy.
The Roomba, Adam Carolla. And it's like, it's that one moment where you're just sitting there and you're just like, holy shit.
Right.
Like those weird moments. It's a kind of a green flag drops moment. Like the race starts.
Every night, right before I walk on stage, there's that tiny bit of terror. I'm so used to it. I've done it so many times. But it's not terror. It's like, when you're at the very top of that roller coaster and you know there is nothing you can do to get off or stop this thing.
Right.
You know, it's like when I hear my name being introduced by myself, you know, and one of the characters is introducing me on tape. It's just that roller coaster moment of, holy shit, here we go.
You build all the puppets,
Yeah,
right?
I build all the dummies, yeah.
Or the dummies, sorry.
I don't care what they're called.
You cast them. I mean, there's a lot there.
Yeah. There's not many guys that do this for a living that also do that. You have to have somebody else to do that because it's engineering. There's the artwork. There's the technical aspect of it, and so yeah, you got to sculpt it. And I still do it the old school way, sculpt it out of clay, but now I 3D scan it and then print the head, the shell, but then you got to install all the mechanics, and I'm pretty proud of myself. Those things have lasted for decades.
Yeah, no shade for Carrot Top, but he makes his own props, but taking a Barbie and stapling it to a 2x4 and going, baby on board, it's not that difficult
but
to do.
It still gets a laugh.
It gets a laugh, but he can do it. Anyone can do that. You got eyeballs moving. You got stuff going on.
I forgot my whole point of what I was talking about, building the set, doing the Tonight shows. So my whole career was built on trying to build that 5-minute set.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For the Tonight Show,
I put a stopwatch to it. That when a stand-up was on a late night show, if he was getting a laugh every 15 seconds, he was dying.
Really?
You had to get a laugh every 6 to 10 seconds or you died.
So you broke it down sort of mechanically.
Yeah, mathematically. And so I started building all my sets so I would get a laugh every 6 to 10 seconds. And so that's how my act is now. I do it the same way. It's the old school way of set up, punch, set up, punch, set up, punch, but at least I have 2 guys on stage that can do that easily. And so I think that's why my 15 minutes has lasted so many decades is because it's 2 guys on stage and there's drama and there's tension and there's action and reaction. And so I think it makes it interesting for the audience. And then I can change up characters and go, you don't like that? Well, then how about this? And it's a whole different conversation and a whole different point of view. But I think that formula of making that audience dead tired from laughing for 2 hours is a real key to making people want to come back again.
How is... You know, comedy has its ebbs and its flows. It's kind of like music. You know, there's glam rock, and then that kind of gives way to grunge, right? So it's like right at the later 80s with the guys with the Aquanet and the eyeliner, and then all of a sudden here comes Nirvana.
Right.
The opposite of that, you know, and there's ebbs and there's flows. And I've said, like with Carrot Top, weirdly, Carrot Top was like sort of a punchline for comedians in that he wasn't a true comedian. He was a prop comedian. And now...
Yeah, welcome to my world.
He's hung around long enough to like come around, and now he's kind of an... I don't want to say an elder statesman, but like people are revered. It's the same thing I would say about... Ringo Starr. Everyone's like, Ringo Starr. That, you know, if you're the worst guy on the basketball team, you're the Ringo of the basketball team. And now everyone's like, he's a really good drummer, you know? And I'm like, what happened to making fun of Ringo Starr?
Right.
But you're not Carrot Top, but you're also not Seinfeld.
Well, but I had to fight that battle, though. I was always a prop. Oh, of course. It was like I wasn't a real comedian.
Yeah, I get it. Comedians are total snobs, and they're looking for any excuse to say that guy's not really one of us.
Right.
You know, so and anytime you walk out on stage with anything other than a glass of water, you're not one of us. I guess is what I'm saying. So, but have you felt it morph or change over the years?
Yeah, that changed thing. And by the way, Carrot Top is in Vegas, and I'm sorry, the show is hilarious. It is laugh out loud funny. Yeah. And the timing of everything is amazing.
And Ringo's a great drummer.
Absolutely. And he did a great interview, too, which is really nice. What's really... And I was going to say this to you earlier. So when I used to come in here, I used to bring a dummy.
Oh, yeah.
And and it was those 18, 20 years of doing comedy clubs, you know, and people don't know this, but when you were booked in a comedy club for 5 or 6 nights, you were a headliner, you had to go do press, and that was the radio press. So you'd get there you get up on a Thursday morning, and flying to the East Coast was a bear, and get up and literally go do 6, 7 at least 4, 5, 6 radio shows on the morning radio
Club
stuff.
owner pick you up.
Oh, it was horrible.
Maxima.
And what do you think? Yeah, exactly. And what's worse than having to do that than having to walk into a studio carrying a dummy?
Right.
On radio.
Yes.
And I learned when I did that, and it would not work with you because you were one of those guys who would rather just carry on a conversation, and you don't want to have to play, oh my gosh, I got to sit here and talk to a dummy and pretend I'm entertained, right? And so, and I always preferred that. That I could just carry on a conversation and not have to do my act. But what I used to do for those radio shows that dreaded me was I would just walk in. They go, "What do you want us to set you up somehow? Or what do you want us to ask you?" I'm like, "No, just say hi." And then I would just take it from there. And then Walter would just do a rant. Walter, my character, the old guy, would just do a rant on whatever was going on in the world that day, all current topic stuff, and then make fun of those guys. And eventually, I developed many great relationships around the country from doing it that way. But man, was that a pain in the neck.
It's fun. Interesting. I've done that, of course. It's funny. You know what you should do? I'm just going to put this out to everybody. Whenever you pick up someone in your car, especially if it's early in the morning, you need to de-you yourself from that car. Like, I shouldn't climb into that car and know everything about you. Like, what brand you smoke, what you like country, like modern country. There's so much going on in that car. When they pick you up at 6 a.m., I don't want to know what your proclivities are. I don't want to know what your personal habits are. To me, it's like, I want you to drive that car off the showroom lot. Like, when those club owners pick you up at 6 a.m. and you climb in the car, you're like, I know everything.
By the way,
first inhale, and I know everything about you.
Can you name everything in your car that you drove here today?
Everything that's floating around in the car?
Everything that did not come with the car. Because here's my deal, and I've taught my kids this, that in college, I would judge a girl by the trunk of her car and her back seat.
Oh, yeah. Gotta have a tight ass.
Yeah, well, that's not what I meant.
I got you.
But if it was a filthy mess, I knew that girl. And if it was her closet, no.
Your car is basically your room on wheels, and your room on wheels, and your room is essentially your mind.
Right.
So the people, who would not feel comfortable, like most people, if you went, I'm just going to go over to your house, I'm going to go up to your bedroom, they go, no, you got to give me a minute, I got to straighten up a few things like that.
Right.
There's people who treat their cars like it is their bedroom, and they're just driving around, and you go, this is embarrassing. I can see you're chaotic. I can see you don't have your shit together. There's fast food wrappers on the dash, or conversely, there's every I's dotted and every T is crossed person, but you can learn a lot.
Oh yeah, when I park a car in the driveway and walk in for the night, there's nothing in that car. I could sell that car right then and there, and nobody'd find anything in that car that had to do with me except the registration. That's it.
I think you're meticulous, and I think that's part of the mechanical part of your world, and I think it's a good thing. Like, I think that keeps you sane, going down to the shop and molding stuff and problem solving.
Right.
It keeps you sane, and then B, I think it makes you more connected to the prop or to the dummy, essentially. Like, you built it.
Right.
Who knows this? It's like playing a baseball game. Every once in a while, you got to borrow someone else's mitt. And you're like, I don't know
that
this mitt.
Work.
Yeah, I mean, it'll work, but it's not going to work like you broke it in with your own mink oil.
I have that problem thinking that I can't remember, anamorph, whatever it's called, where you think that things are alive, that they have feelings.
Yes.
and I think it's because I actually talk to those things, and they talk back to me. But I do have that thing.
Anthropomorphized, I think.
Is that it? Okay, yeah. But here's an example. When I get a pound of coffee beans, I will not let one coffee bean go to waste.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because that coffee bean has been on a journey.
Yes. Let me tell you something here, Jeff. I'm 100% with you. And I'm wildly insulted when people go, Adam's so cheap if the bean falls on the ground. No.
Oh, really?
No, not cheap. Not cheap.
Right.
Not cheap. I agree. That thing started being picked by Juan Valdez in the hills of Colombia.
Yep.
Made its way down to the port of call, got on a ship, sailed across the ocean, went through the Panama Canal, ended up at a Trader Joe's, and is now on your kitchen island.
Right.
And that bean, if that bean could talk, what a story it would tell.
Right.
And I'm with you. I can't just chuck it. I feel the same way about anything that used to be alive. People eat like half a steak and they're like, I'm done with the steak. They start throwing it away. I'm like, no, that something gave its life for that. And the journey of that is right up there with the bean.
Can I tell you another one? I sometimes I love antiques. We have a grandfather clock that was built in 1743, so it's older than our country, and I have to wind it once a week. And it fascinates me to think that there has been another guy or another woman or men and women throughout the decades and centuries that have had to wind that clock just like me once a week.
Right.
And it's
complaining. And by the way, while they're winding it, they're going, kids these days. It's 1811, and he said your son was going to wind this, but he didn't do it. He's got his leather VR goggles on.
But to think about that clock, when it was finished, was loaded on a cart and taken to the first owner by a horse.
Right. Crazy.
Yeah.
I agree. But I do think in a world where everything is fast and it's all free and it's all brought to your door and everything's digital, these are little sanity games that you must play with yourself. Just little ways to keep you sane, keep you occupied. Go down to the shop, go do it yourself, go wash your own car, go wind your own clock, think about others who came before you, and sort of get some perspective.
Conversely, you take these people that are so entitled, you go, how did you get to that point that you don't think you have to wipe your own ass?
Right.
It's like, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Those are the folks that drive me absolutely nuts.
All right, well, there's dates all over the place. Artificial intelligence.
That's the
tour date.
Yeah.
A tour name. A website, jeffdunham.com is where you go. And then the cars that drove us. That'll premiere March 31st on Discovery. Take a quick break. Rudy's doing the news right after this. Ethos. When you bring a child into the world, your perspective changes overnight. I carry a lot of responsibility in my household, so if there's something were to happen to me, well, there are going to be real consequences, and that's why I'm glad I found out about Ethos. Ethos makes getting life insurance fast and easy, 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage. Some policies are as low as $30 a month. Look, you're an adult now. You have a family. It's time to be responsible. It's time to get Ethos. Go online and see what you can get done today with Ethos. Right, Dawson?
Protect your family with life insurance through Ethos. Get your free quote in minutes at ethos.com/Adam. That's ETHOS.com/Adam. Ethos.com/Adam. Application times and rates may vary.
Pluto TV has thousands of free movies and TV shows.
You swear?
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
This is the mindset.
Free.
This is the mantra.
Free.
This is the mindset.
With movies like Interstellar, Dreamgirls, and Gladiator.
Are you not entertained?
And TV shows like Survivor, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Fairly Odd Parents, and Ghosts. Pluto TV is always free. Huzzah! Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Yo, Carolla, PJ up in Sacramento. You keep talking about your hypervigilance, but then I'm watching you on YouTube, and the two screens behind you, I believe, are about 1.25 inches off from height. Grab Dawson, throw a level on that. Is it the angle? Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm not, Send me some tickets or something. Thanks. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
He said 1.5 inches off in height.
Height.
Then he talked about it being plumb and level.
Yeah. So I brought this up to Chuck. The one that is directly behind you, it looks like it's a little tilted. It looks like it's a little off. But the reason why it looks a little off, we figured this out, is because the shadow that it casts underneath the television makes it look a little off. So we've had conversations about this. I think what he meant is the height of these two right here. Maybe one's just a little bit higher than the other. But just eyeballing it, it looks pretty even. I mean, maybe the center one's a little higher.
Yeah. I'd go get a tape and throw it on there. Rudy knows when things aren't plumb. I framed a picture he gave me, and it was a little off kilter.
It's a little off.
He pointed it out.
I did.
Rightfully so.
Yeah,
I deserved it.
A little hurt.
All right. What do we got out there in the news?
All right. Well, I'm sure you got some opinions about this. Governor Gavin Newsom has helped to funnel more than $4.4 million in donations from organizations and powerful figures to a political nonprofit created by his spouse, Jennifer Siebel Newsom. An analysis by the Post found. Well, it turns out that the California Partners Project, a nonprofit launched by Siebel Newsom in 2020 to promote gender equality, has raked in a significant amount of cash from donors at the request of her hubby, thanks to a murky loophole.
Okay. Murky loophole's the worst porn name ever.
Oh, yeah. Gross.
Okay, look, here's what we're dealing with, everyone. You make up a problem, like gender dysphoria, gender confusion, whatever. And then you give yourself a euphemistic title like Hope Street Unlimited or something. Then you go about to fix the problem, except for the problem doesn't exist and the problem's invisible. So it can never be fixed, but you can't chart whether it was fixed or not. When your transmission is bad, it either gets fixed or it doesn't get fixed, but you know it. When it's just this sort of murky world of kids and sexuality and gender and confusion and positivity, who the fuck knows when the transmission ever gets fixed? Mechanical stuff, everyone, you notice how I shouldn't say all, most of the grift is invisible bullshit. Like, well, he's on the spectrum of autism or whatever this stuff is. It's not so much building a bridge. Like the thing about a project, like, hey, I'm a corrupt politician, you're a corrupt contractor, and we need to build a mile on the 405. Okay, what's the cost? What's the overrun? What's the subcontractors? But at some point we can track something back to something and go, look, we put in $1 billion, there's nothing. I don't see anything. You can't do that when you're talking about remodeling someone's house. You can't just go, keep giving me money. It's an ongoing problem. You're not an expert. I'm an expert. I'm going to get other experts. I'm going to talk to them. It's like the fucking house is either getting remodeled or it's not being remodeled. But the invisible shit about getting to kids young and giving them a head start and teaching them about their gender dysphoria, it's all fucking invisible. So we can just keep funneling money toward you. You can keep making retarded documentaries that, by the way, would have no value on the open market unless some of your crony friends forced them into the classroom and then became part of the curriculum. And then the school teachers' unions get bigger and everyone gets more bureaucracy, more powerful, more whatever, more people getting paid. And it's all, I'll tell you the part that pisses me off about it the most. At least the guy who's building the bridge or putting the second story on the 405 freeway is not celebrated at women's lunches and shit like that. They have to give her the fucking hero awards and the woman of the whatever, and the fucking ladies who lunch and the Hollywood bullshit elite have to come out and celebrate these people for what? Poisoning your kid's brain? Scrambling their fucking head? She makes documentaries. She's a director, writer, producer, sexualizing how media sexualizing and limited portrayals of women contribute to their underrepresentation. Meanwhile, being hot blonde and sucking off Weinstein to get ahead. You know what I mean? Like you of all people is going to be the orator and narrate this thing. You who is dyeing your hair, getting Botox, and working with the physical trainers to remain slim, you're going to then talk to the roly-poly Latina chick and explain to her that she shouldn't be judged on her appearance? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. For the longest time, it was always, you can never get ahead in this society. And it's like, you're being told that by people who have gotten ahead in this society. They're the ones they got up the ladder. How the hell did they do it? Why are you telling me that I can't? And also, a lot of this shit is meant to be confusing. Because for the longest time, BIPOC, that word BIPOC, I thought they like recreated Tupac.
I thought that was a Korean band. I don't know what the fuck any of this stuff is.
No.
And that's what they do. They make up words. They make up invisible problems. And then you have to pay them to solve an invisible problem that never gets fixed because it's invisible and never was a problem. Versus the transmission or the bridge or the roof that leaks.
Yeah.
Which people start complaining.
Yeah.
You know, like anyone who's ever had a problem with their car, I'll go, Jesus Christ, take it to the dealer 4 fucking times. I spent $4,000 on this shit. It's been back and forth to the dealer, and I still, they're like, it's all nuts and bolts. Or you can just give out $10 billion to the leaning center and fuck it. No one even knows what's going on. Autism, whatever, on the spectrum. Bullshit.
Hang a television a quarter of an inch off, and some guy's got to give you shit.
Everyone turns into fucking Bob Vila. That's right. Yeah, so she, by the way, just so people need to know who she is, she's also the first partner. She's not the first lady of the first governor or whatever. She's the first fucking partner by the deep leg crosser and wild pussy Gavin Newsom. She meets Harvey Weinstein in the Toronto International Film Festival in 2005 and then accused him of raping her that year when they met at the Beverly Hills Hotel. What is she doing? Why does she need to do all this stuff? What about the children? What about the children, bitch? What are you doing in Toronto, hanging around with Weinstein and then heading over to the Beverly Hills Hotel to hang out with Weinstein? What about the children who are confused about their sexuality? Who's going to straighten them out? Someone who's fucking Weinstein is going to tell them how to straighten out their gender confusion.
Put a tape on them. Straighten them out.
So then, later on, she reaches out to Weinstein after he raped her and is seeking career advice and asking how to handle bad press. So she's quite the role model. I'd like her to be the nanny of my children so she could explain their sexuality. I don't know. I'd like some of her sexuality explained to me. So this grotesque ape rapes you in Beverly Hills, and then a year later, you're sending him an email asking for advice like he's your publicist?
Yeah.
That seems sexually a little confused to me.
Yeah, you know how many times around this building I've had my thigh rubbed by guys that are behind the scenes, and then I ask them, how do I write this joke? You know how many times?
Right. Yes.
Many. So many.
All right, so anyway, but here's the point. It's all just grift. It's all bullshit. It's everything. Okay, let me explain something. Donald Trump, people like and people hate. But I'll tell you one thing. Donald Trump doesn't pretend to be poor, and he doesn't pretend not to make deals, and he doesn't pretend his name is on the building and it's 30 foot tall. And you can like it or you can hate it. But he doesn't pretend. Gavin Newsom does this aw shucks, grew up eating mac and cheese on the wrong side of the tracks, nothing special. I'm for the little man. I'm for the brown man. I'm for the black man. I'm here I'm a crusader for injustice. Meanwhile, you married a fucking Barbie doll. She's sucking off Weinstein, and you're going to the fucking French Laundry. That's hypocritical.
Sure.
Now listen, I'm rich. I like going out to expensive restaurants and racing cars and doing all the shit rich guys do. But I don't pretend like I don't. That's the difference. That's what fucking drives me. This is the Michael Moore syndrome. He has to dress like an out-of-work lesbian trucker because he has $50 million in the bank. He's worth $50 million, and he has to fucking dress like an out-of-work lesbian trucker because he's going to lecture you on giving something back to the poor people when he has way more money than anyone he's talking to, which is an insane thing. It's, the Obamas lecturing everybody. Sometimes enough's enough. You got to ask yourself when you have enough. I don't know. Are you going on your 8th house or your 5th house? I can't remember.
Well, 3rd, but to be fair, the first 2 were gifted to me by my rich parents.
You guys hang out in the fucking Hamptons and have a chef. Or you had a chef until he went wakeboarding. But the point is don't fucking lecture us on what it's like to be poor, you fucking hypocrites.
Yeah.
I'd much rather just be fucking Trump or Elon Musk. Just fucking own it.
Yes.
I'm fucking rich. I work harder than you. Fine. Sorry, where were we?
It's true. Yeah. I did read a little bit of her. They were talking about how one of her organizations, the Girls Club Entertainment State Business License, has been suspended or flagged for delinquency multiple times for basic compliant failures, mostly since 2020. So over the last 5 years, she's allowed to get away with this shit, and yet they still... Nobody ever comes to the table and goes, "Hey, why isn't anybody doing anything about this?" And it seems like even when they do, they still get away with it. Like, this is just going to be a slap on the wrist, and Newsom's still going to stand next to an empty train and be like, "Look at all the shit we're getting done here with this bullet train all the way out to Sacramento or wherever the hell it's going."
An empty train. He stands next to storage lockers, like literally storage containers.
Yeah,
because there is no train. He's like, "I need something metal and long." I'm gonna stand next to it, pretend make a choo. Bert, can you do a choo choo sound? Yes. Do we have any vid of her videos, like any graphics or videos of her kids' stuff? And by the way, we don't need to have kindergartners learning where their private parts are with Mr. Gingerbread Man. It will fucking figure it out. Like I don't know what this. There's something the left has, which is like, you've got to expose kids to music when they're young. I fucking like music just fine. I didn't go to the opera. It's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to. And then it's like, wait, the fucking grift with the, oh no, you need pre-K. There's now going to be something called pre-cum, where before before the guy busts his nut and you can be created, there's going to be some sort of institute their zygote or embryo is going to have to go to. Like, and I remember when I was a dad, I was like, the kids are 3. Where are we taking them? They got to get an early start in order to socialize. I'm like, they don't. You'll figure it out. You'll figure everything out. It'll all be figured out. They don't need to learn to socialize. Let me say this. I don't need to attend the graduation of somebody who doesn't know they're graduating. Whether it's dementia or it's a 3.5-year-old. They have a fucking graduation party for their kids. They don't even know where they're at.
Yeah.
They're walking in a circle. The guy's pants are down. The kid shit himself. They don't know they're graduating. It's like throwing a surprise party for a 2-year-old. Like, they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know it.
Yeah, it's for the person throwing it, not the person receiving it.
Yes, except for you got to pay.
Yeah.
Hymns. Well, it sucks when your hair starts to thin. And I've watched a lot of dudes go through it. Hymns makes it really simple to feel like yourself again. I just signed up for these guys because I noticed a little thinning up top. Yeah, I'm getting old. Yeah, they got a range of prescription meds, including chews, oral medication, serums, and sprays. Doctor-trusted ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can stop further hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. It's super convenient with a 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. Their website is the digital front door that gets you back to your old self. It's Hims, right, Dawson?
For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/Adam. That's hims.com/Adam for your free online visit. hims.com/Adam. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride.
Pluto TV has thousands of free movies and TV shows.
You swear?
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
This is the mindset. Free. This is the mantra. Free. This is the mindset.
With movies like Interstellar, Dreamgirls, and Gladiator.
Are you not entertained?
And TV shows like Survivor, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Fairly Odd Parents, and Ghosts. Pluto TV is always free. Huzzah! Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Speaking of California, since we're already talking about it, hundreds of LA hospices have multiple indicators of fraud. 3 years ago, California state auditor sounded the alarm that Los Angeles County has seen a 1,500% increase in hospice companies since 2010. Some of these red flags that have been coming out, like low patient counts, high rates of terminally ill patients later discharged alive, excessive billing, and staff shared across multiple companies.
There's a vid on this I liked, Andrew, that's somewhere out there. I think a guy from the Times did it. But also, when it's not your money, you just don't police it like you should. All of this is human nature shit. So it's like somebody, I think it's Thomas Sowell who said it. And we can find his quote, but I think I'll paraphrase. Or was it David Soul from Starsky and Hutch?
David, for sure.
Don't give up on us, baby. That's him. We can still come.
We can still pre-come.
Thomas Sowell basically goes, your best expenditure on money is your money on you. That's when you check reviews and make sure you're getting the best deals. So the best you're going to do with money is you on you. I'm buying myself a TV set.
Yeah.
I want the best TV set at the best price.
Yeah.
Okay. The second best money you can do is I'm spending my money, I'm buying a gift for you, but I still don't want to pay twice as much for a TV set as I need to. I want to get you a good TV set, but it's my money. The worst you can do is not your money, not your TV set. That's what the government is.
Yeah.
And so you go, why all the waste? Not their money, not their TV set.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. That's why there's so much waste. And the crazy thing is like you have Ro Khanna and Bernie Sanders out on the road going, if only the rich would give 5% of their wealth, we could afford it's like, are you fucking guys nuts?
Yeah.
All you do is waste money. Why would more money... That's just more waste.
Yeah.
This thing of like, we could build this or lift out of poverty. I don't know. We're 50% out here in California. You lifting people out of poverty? There's no amount of money that can fix this.
Yeah.
And by the way, his thing of like, this billionaire's tax, we could give everybody a check for $3,000. Yeah, so they could fucking drink malt liquor in the fucking park all day.
Yeah.
You're not helping them, you idiot. This whole notion of like, I'll just give them some money. That every piece of shit celebrity and their fucking junkie son that overdosed, they just got free money.
Yeah.
That's why they're dead.
That's what they've tried it. You don't think that was part of the equation? They didn't try that at some point? Wasn't there like that old saying of if you took all the money in the world and distributed it evenly amongst everybody on the planet, it would all end up exactly where it is right now?
That's
it's very
right.
true.
All right, let's play this piece. CBS News, sorry.
The government thinks this woman is dying in hospice.
It's a woman playing pickleball.
But she just humiliated me. Schooled me on the pickleball court. She's definitely not dying. She is a victim, though, of hospice fraud. So hospice fraud costs taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars every year. And California is ground zero. So basically, people steal Medicare numbers, they enroll them in hospices, and then bill for tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. A lot of these companies are just fronts. So over 700 of the roughly 1,800 hospices in LA County trigger multiple red flags for possible fraud. So we went door to door, and what we found was empty office spaces, piled up mail, and not a single healthcare worker in sight.
By the way, pause it for a
There's
second. This has happened to me, and I would challenge anyone to do this in Los Angeles County. Start a project. Like at my other warehouse, I was building that second floor sort of mezzanine thing. I just started building it. 3 days into it, some inspector just came walking in off the street. Hey, what's going on in here? I'm like, building storage up. Yeah, no, you're not.
Jesus,
like,
really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, people have no fucking idea what the government will do when they want money. They're very visual watchdogs when it's their money. First house I ever built, remodeled up in Hollywood, up under the Hollywood sign on Beechwood Canyon. I went right into that, just started demoing the place and whatever. About a month in, inspector, he walked in. They just come walking in.
Wow.
And they'll just come in, noon on a Tuesday. And they just come in and they go, who owns this house? And there's a bunch of Mexicans on ladders. And by the way, they go, get off the ladder, put the tool down.
Crazy.
In your living room.
Wow.
In your fucking living room. And then you come around and you go, huh? You own this house? You own this house? Everyone stops. Everyone stop working. Now, you over there with the drill, stop. Okay, good. Everyone go home. You can go get a plan, engineering, permit. You can come down and apply for a permit. And if anyone comes back here between that permit and now, you're going to get fucked up.
Damn.
So everyone stop, everyone go home.
Whew.
I've had that happen 2 times.
Wow.
And it'll never say, if you just want to build your house in the Palisades, you just start building your house, you won't make it 2 days.
Yeah.
Someone's going to roll up on you, they'll flash their fucking badge, and you'll be shut down, and they will fuck your shit up until you comply with them. Because that's money they want from you. This hospice bullshit, that's your money that they're just throwing into a fucking ceiling fan, and they don't give a fuck about that. So they got nothing but rules if you would like to do your own building projects, but zero enforcement if you just want to open up a hospice care place in a strip mall.
Yeah. See, I know that my state of Minnesota, everything in the 694, 494 loop is kind of a shit show at the moment, but everything outside of it is still very normal. Like if you want to build something on your land up in northern Minnesota, you build it, the guys show up and they go, you got a permit? You go, I don't know, can I get one now? They go, yeah, fine, just don't do it again. And then they walk away and they just take their money and they don't make you tear it down and rebuild it and start from scratch. They're pretty pragmatic in that sense.
Well, I'll cut to the chase. He went to a bunch of places. None of them are businesses. It's the same shit they were doing. Here we do the hospice grift. There you do the learning center. I think we also do the Down syndrome spectrum shit. You have a trailer for Jennifer, the first partner. Sorry, that we're going to watch.
The Mask You Live In?
The mask. First off, I love making. First off, okay, it's all okay. Stop. It's all kids, right? It's all kids. It's all kids. All you have to do with dumb chicks is show them a kid looking sad. And they go, oh, and then you say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Over that.
That's so funny you say it. This last season of Stranger Things, I know you're not a fan, but they had to reintroduce a whole new group of kids for the last season for people to give a shit.
Right.
Because the first 3 seasons, they were small children and we cared. And then they got older and they went, we don't care anymore. So the last season, they literally brought in like a whole classroom, 15 little kids for us to go, we got to save them kids.
I'll play the trailer now, sir.
Stop crying. Stop with the tears.
Don't cry.
Pick yourself up. Stop with the emotion.
Don't be a pussy.
Don't let nobody disrespect you. Be cool and be kind of a dick.
Always keep your mouth. Nobody likes a tattletale. Bros come before hoes.
Don't let your woman run your life.
You a bitch.
What a fag. Get laid. Do something.
Did my stepdad voice this?
From the team behind Misrepresentation.
The 3 most destructive words that every man receives when he's a boy is when he's told to be a man.
We've constructed an idea of masculinity in the United States that doesn't give young boys a way to feel secure in their masculinity, so we make them go prove it all the time.
Within their peer group culture, each
pause
of them
it for
is
a second. I fucking love it when dumb shits talk about masculinity. They do this thing where they go, he's so insecure about his own masculinity, he's forced to lash out because of his insecurity. You don't know anything. You don't fucking know anything. You've never had a dick or balls. You never got into a fucking fight. You never played any football. You never rode a motorcycle. You've never fucking done anything. So shut the fuck up, Harvard guy, about what it to be a man. And then they'd start explaining about it. And it's always really weird. They'll always go, those Trump MAGA guys with the beard and the Ram pickup trucks and the big muscles, they're so insecure about, no, they're fucking kicking ass and having fun.
Yeah.
I've hung out with those guys.
Yeah.
They like fucking going to the fucking desert and shooting. They like riding dirt bikes. They like fucking drinking beer. They like watching MMA. And they're fucking having a good time. And you guys are miserable.
Yeah.
Yes. All
absolutely.
Right. Play it again, sir. Or play it.
based on how the other boys are posturing, and what they end up missing is what they each really want, which is just that closeness.
Good times, guys are like really close to each other, but when things get a little bit worse, you're on your own.
From middle school, I had 4 really close friends. Once I kind of went into high school, I struggle finding people I can talk to because I feel like I'm not supposed to get help.
Our kids get up every morning. They have to prepare their mask for how they're going to walk to school.
Yeah.
A lot of our students don't know how to take the mask off. What is it you don't let people see? Almost
anger.
90% of you have pain
in my heart.
Anger on the back of that paper.
If you never cry, then you have all these feelings stuffed up inside of you,
Yeah.
and then you can't get them out.
They really buy into a culture that doesn't value what we feminized. If we're in a culture that doesn't value caring, doesn't value relationships, doesn't value empathy, you are going to have boys and girls, men and women go crazy.
I had anger issues.
Shut the fuck up, you idiots. You don't know anything. You're wrong about everything. You're as wrong about this shit as you were about fucking COVID and the food pyramid, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. You get paid to make documentaries about bullshit that doesn't change anything. Go fucking build something or do something, would you please?
Yeah, I love the dudes that are like, the first thing about being a man is you need to be able to console your children. I was like, how about change a light socket? That's a pretty good one. Like, be able to do some shit around the house.
You're so much saner, and it's so much more satisfying and gratifying when you can physically pick up a tool and solve a problem like I did with your bad wheelie luggage this morning. All right, let's see. Rudy.
Yeah.
Dates, man.
Dates, yeah. So coming up, let's see, Friday and Saturday of next week, the 20th and 21st, I'll be in Oakdale, Minnesota, and then Monroe, Wisconsin on the 27th, downtown St. Paul and Lower Town at Gambit Brewing.
Also, I'm laughing. I gave a whole speech to, all right, it's funny. I gave a whole speech to August. I go, well, we're going to put that other show on sale in Nebraska. You got to tell it to those guys so they can put it up on the screen.
It's in Lincoln, Nebraska. I was talking to the promoter today because he's a good friend of mine. But those Norfolk dates, March 27th, 28th, one of the best venues you will do in the Midwest because you're going to love
sell
it.
Out. But the Lincoln show's on Monday. I drove in and I was like on the phone with Mike. I was like, Mike, he goes, we put the Lincoln date on. I go, you put the Lincoln date on? Then right now go get them that information so they can put it up on the screen. And that's all I said on the way in. All right, just go to adamcarolla.com for that. Jeff Dunham, great. Cars that drove us, the cars that drove us. And until next time, for Dunham and Rudy, this is Adam saying mahalo.